I mean, it just has to be Luigi, right, guys? There's no question about it. Luigi the GOAT, for real, for real. How are we doing, gamers? A pleasure, as always. You might have to, Mary, you might have to. I'm Team Luigi when it comes to Mario Wonder, and I always will be. My boy Luigi. Me and him have been homies for years. And we always will be. Any Luigi's in the chat? We better all be Luigi's, okay? I don't want to see a single Mario in here. If there's any Marios in here, you know where to go. Out the door. We don't serve your kind here. What's up, Joe? What's up? How are we doing? How are you doing? It's been a while, hasn't it? It has been a while. But just been enjoying my some time off with the other half, you know? I've been enjoying some time off, so it's been quite nice. Been touring around London, it's been a lot of fun. But, you know, Mario Kart was just calling to me, you know? It was just calling to me. You can see it just off frame there, look, you could... I know they could just about see you there. Oh, did you move so you're hidden? Oh, no, do you want to move into frame for 2 seconds? Oh, no, the other... No, just for... Yes, yeah! She is. There she is, she's just chilling. She'll just be watching TikToks in the background as she has no interest in dissecting Mario Kart like we do, but, you know, it's an acquired taste, but a taste we have nonetheless. Like a Mario Kart, somewhat, except a lot less driving, because Lord knows you can't drive in this goddamn city. You absolutely cannot. Absolutely not at all. A based quack sleeping. Oh, you like it? You see it there? Right up there. I got it with the Pokemon card, with the Quaxley bundle. It's pretty nice. You like the pins? I'm adding to the collection, guys. I've got a massive collection. I'm not gonna stop until this whole hat is just covered with pins. The whole hat is gonna be way more than my head. I'm just gonna be streaming lopsided when it's like when it's this many, you know. How are we doing, guys? Alfonso, a pleasure. TJ Nintendo, how's it going? How accurate is London Loop? I would say if you're in like the Westminster area, relatively accurate. But considering how big London is as a city, and it only captures like a tiny bit of it, you could only help but be disappointed. But you can't expect Mario Kart to give you an actual tour around London. Some parts you probably don't even want to go anywhere, but relatively good for what it is. But as a Londoner, you know, like I would have loved to have seen, you know, some more crackheads, you know, or I'd love to have seen a bit more, you know, some more, just some more London vibes, you know. I'd love to have seen it, but you can't do that in Mario Kart. Your hat's sick. Thank you very much. I just took a regular farmer's cap and started kitting out with pins. That's all it is. Do you want a Rowlet pin? I have like 5. Alright, bruv, if you'll send it me, I'll get the PO box ready, you know? I'll get the PO box ready. But how are we doing, guys? We're all excited for Wonder, aren't we? I'm very excited for tomorrow. Me and the lady over there, we're gonna play it. We're gonna play it all day. It's gonna be a one day game playthrough. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. I don't know about you. And then I'm gonna have to get Spider-Man at the start of the month because Lord knows I can't afford both games. I can't afford both games. And then Sonic will have to. I'll wait till Sonic goes on sale. Probably. I'm really excited for Sonic, but that's 3 games. That's like what, £180. I can't be spending not on video games. Just not on my budget. Not on my budget. Co-op stream? I would love to, but the hotel Wi-Fi ain't good enough. That's the issue. It like disconnects every 2 seconds, doesn't it, darling? It's a bit better, but she said, yeah, it's really whack, unfortunately. I asked them if, I did ask the person at the desk, I am a hit Twitch streamer, Sir Musty, with 3,000 subs, but you can't really pay for bare Ethernet with a subscriber count, unfortunately, so. I figured that out the hard way, but inflation done us dirty. It certainly did. It certainly did. But inflation aside, I do have 2 different videos we're gonna watch today, gamers. We've got Biff Weed. He's got every Mario Kart Wii track ranked. And I think was it Toxic Joshua? I don't know if he's in the chat today. But he told me about a gentleman by the name of Albert Boris. And I want to see his Double Dash tier list. I'm very, very curious about his Double Dash takes. I want to see if he's one of us, if he's one of our own, or if he's not. That's what I want to find out. We need to find out today. Is Biff Weed, is the W in Biff Weed's name intentional? Does Albert Boris need to change his name to Albert Warris? We'll find out soon. We'll find out in a second. We certainly will. Albert Boris reaction. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with this guy until I was told about him, but now we're gonna be very, very familiar with Mr. Boris. He's got a funny name. What was that? Okay, so she wants me to take apart this iPad case and. Alright, so I'm trying to rip the case apart without ripping up the. I'm gonna rip apart this iPad if.
Sit back, just the liner on the back.
On the back? Where?
Yeah. The liner on the back, that purple thing.
Well, I know you want me to take off the purple case.
Yeah, but not.
But I'm gonna break the iPad if I take off the case. Honey, I can't do this. I'm not in Macho Man mode. I'm in Mario Kart mode, unfortunately. Sorry about that. You can try. Anyway. And there's no right predicting as much as they have for the BCP. You don't think so? I don't know, man. I know nothing about. I'm gonna go in blind, you know. Albert's a she. Is she? Is Albert a she? We're gonna consult the bio for this one. I see no pronouns in bio. I'm very, very confused now. Albert sounds like a dude's name. But either way, we'll wing it. We'll do that as it comes. I played Double Dash for the first time 2 months ago. I'm not the same man since. I mean, it was I feel like Double Dash. I wonder. Okay, I'm actually curious. Let's start with this question before we get started. How many of you guys have played Double Dash recently? Would I say, and never played it back as a kid? Because I played it as a kid. So I will never be I always have nostalgia for it. I always have maximum nostalgia for it. But how is it like playing it as a modern day Mario Kart fan? I'm very, very curious. Because I would say, if I was to take a guess, I would say the whole 2-person mechanic is quite interesting, but the slipperiness is a bit it's not as slippery as the older Mario Karts like Super Circuit, 64 and Super, but I imagine the slipperiness is still a little bit. One thing I do like is that when you're drifting, even if you hit a wall because of how slippery it is, the drift doesn't stop. So you can still wiggle the stick for because it's one of those old Mario Kart games that has you wiggle it to get the bonus drift, which I really miss that, to be honest. I miss that you have to just wiggle the stick a bunch to get a boost. I miss that honestly. But I thought it was I have maximum nostalgia, so I can't rank it. So I'm curious what you guys think. If you're slippery, haven't played it, you should give it a try, LA Double Dash is slidiness to Mario Kart. You should give it a try. Because I'd like to think if you get used to it, you can have a lot of fun, but of course that's my my boomer bias talking, really, isn't it? Drifting is slippery. I think the slippery double kart is unfair. I don't know. I'd be down for modern Double Dash. So would I. Bro, my family had Double Dash, but it just got scratched up before we could even play it. Oh, that was... that was the worst part about owning games as a kid. Because you were never good at maintaining your video games when you were a kid, were you? The amount of games I had that were horribly scratched up and didn't work. Oh no. It was a dark time. I'm so glad. If there's one thing that digital gaming has done well, is that kids across the country will never know the pain of putting a disc in a console and then seeing game disc cannot be read. I'm glad we've, removed that trauma from the ecosystem. I really am. It's better than Wii. You think so, Helmer? Ooh, that's a hot take. Might be, anyway. Double Dash can get hard to used to by modern standards, but I guess fun ones to get used to. Yeah, that's what I would think it is, but like I said, I'm just eternally biased. Wario made the cart turn slower. Did he? I might have to consult Wario with it. It's his weight. He's pushing down on the cart too much. That's what it is. Snaking was busted. That's why they simplify it. Oh, was it? Oh, because you could just drift on a straightaway and just keep wiggling. Is that? Oh, I guess that makes sense. I suppose. I'm not really much of a snaker, if that makes sense. I just kind of play Mario Kart and just play it. That's kind of all it is, really. I tried playing it recently, but going from Double Dash to Wii so jarring. I have to play more to get used to the zippers. Yeah, I feel like you have to like give it a bit more time. It's a bit like not recently, but about a year ago, I went back to play Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Do you guys remember that game? And getting used to just like how slippery that game feels compared to Ultimate or even 4, it's night and day. I don't know how many of you guys have gone back to play Brawl, but it's something else, I'm telling you. And then if you go back from, was it Brawl, to playing 64? Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, it feels like turning around takes like a century, and like moving, because of all the hit stun, it takes forever. It just felt weird playing 64, it really did. Because I played it for the first time like about a year ago, I think. And I must have seen your videos for a while, and I really like them. Hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good day too, M Boo Boo. Hope you're having a good one too, man. That's what they. Yeah, I can kind of get it. I was always curious as to why they removed snaking, because I always see people refer to snaking, but now it makes sense to me. Now it makes sense. Slippery because of the tripping, or do you mean slow? Both. I mean, basically both. Yeah. Me and my friend just did the subspace emissary together. That is fun. I think like you can have fun if you play the subspace emissary, but if you're just like brawling on that game, it must just be like a nightmare, honestly. This is Mario Kart, the one game I can't stand. Yeah, pretty much. It's the one game I refuse to rank. I don't, firstly, because I don't think anyone cares, but secondly, I'd have to play it, and I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. But should we get started, gamers? So, gamers. I don't know how many of you guys I miss Subspace. So do I. I miss Subspace. So, gamers, we are going to review a tier list by a gentleman by the name of Biff Weed. He's taken his hand. He usually does death. What's it? What's he do actually? It's the death battle review, doesn't he? Hang on, let me make sure I get this right. Yeah, death battle. Usually, Biff Weed does death battle reviews, but he's decided to take his way into my domain, Mario Kart tier lists. Are his takes based, or are they cringe? Is the W in his name intentional and real, or is it fake and fraudulent? Let's find out in the best way possible by reviewing his list ourselves. So, we have got every Mario Kart Wii track ranked by Biff Weed, and you guys already know what to do. Hey, you know what to do. I'm gonna link his tier list in the chat. You guys know what to do. Be nice. Let me just green myself up. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, I'm huge now. Amazing. So, let's get started. If Toad's Factory isn't going to be an S, I'm gonna have a word with him. I'm gonna have a word with you personally, Biff, if Toad's Factory isn't in a good tier. But let's get started, shall we? Let me try that again, but without the voice track. Let's get started, shall we?
Which sounds like a statement that shouldn't go.
Well, right from the top. We cut you off there. Right from the top, Biff.
Mario Kart is a series that took up a lot of my childhood.
I think with all of us.
A statement that shouldn't go hand in hand with it being a series I'm not that familiar with on the whole. I played like one round of 7 and Double Dash. Sometimes I would play the arcade games whenever I.
He missed Double Dash. Oh, Biff, you gotta do Double Dash for me, Biff. Has he done Double Dash? Hang on. Let's do live Biff Weed viewing. No, the last one he did was 7. Oh, Biff, you gotta do it, lads. I want to see what someone who didn't play as a kid thinks about it now. I'm very, very curious about that. Volume is low. Okay, let me up that for you. There we go. Is that better?
Across those.
Oh, that is loud.
Any extensive time on or DS, Wii.
So let's go to the top, shall we?
Mario Kart is a series. Mario Kart is a series that took up a lot of my childhood, which sounds like a statement that shouldn't go hand in hand with it being a series I'm not that familiar with on the whole. I played like one round
Thanks
of
for the heads
7
up,
and
guys.
Double Dash. Sometimes I would play the arcade games whenever I came across those, but the only ones I have any extensive time on are DS, Wii, and 8. And while all 3 games are great in their own rights, you've seen what the title of this video is, so you know which one I'm covering. Maybe I'll talk about the other 2 at some point in the future, but I mean, it's not like I need to do a video on DS. Everyone already knows that Waluigi Pinball's the best track in that game. So
Oh, hang on. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give it a second. Because I think someone mentioned in my Shifrilus tier list reaction comment section that the moment Shifrilus mentioned Waluigi Pinball, 100 sleeper cells were just activated in the chat, calling it mids. So I'm waiting for you guys to get out of the system. All right, guys, are you guys gonna get out of your system real quick? Mids. Like, it's literally like these shambling zombies. Oh, Waluigi Pinball mid. Go on, just get out of the way now. You're just such a. I don't want to talk to you. I'm ignoring you all. Ban him. Spongy, ban him in the chat. Let's go.
So, Mario Kart Wii. One of my favorite games on my favorite console. It's one of the 5 or 6 games I sunk the most time into on the Wii, and the fact that it still has a super active player base to this. One of the 5 or 6 games.
Brawl Galaxy Resort Wii Party. I'm noticing a distinct lack of WarioWare smooth moves, Biffweed. So whenever you want to 1v1 me on that, I'm your guy.
I sunk the most time into on the Wii, and the fact that it still has a super active player base to this day makes me really happy. It is to Mario Kart what Melee is to Smash Bros. Even though technically superior games in the series exist nowadays, this one's exploitations and competitive scene have helped keep it alive.
Jesus. If you guys don't know about the ultra shortcuts, you should look up like a video of all of them. This should, like, the first time I saw this, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, look at this shit.
Exists nowadays. This one's exploitations and competitive scene have
look
helped
at that
keep it alive.
shit, bro.
Except this one is way more reliant on the modding community.
That's insane, bruv.
Thing, but also shut up. I'm not here to talk about that competitive side of the game, though. I'm not nearly confident enough at it to have any kind of valid input.
Same.
And everyone already seems to have Flame Runner Funky Kong figured out anyway. In fact, I'm so inept.
Oh, did you guys? By the way, I just recently figured out when people say Flame Runner and Bowser Bike, they mean the same thing. Did you guys know this? I didn't know this until recently. So I hope I gave a revelation to someone in the chat who also didn't know this. But I didn't know when people said Flame Runner and Bowser Bike, they meant the same bike. I thought it was like 2 different carts fighting for submission, for top spot supremacy. So I hope I've taught someone else so I don't feel a bit silly.
In that regard, that I didn't know the Flame Runner and the Bowser Bike were different names.
Oh, he says the same thing! Oh my... Biff, my man! Oh my god, he said it too!
Same vehicle.
Same here!
Last year that I had it unlocked.
Oh my god! Oh man, Biff. We're homies already. Let's go.
Whole time. No, today I'm going to talk about the tracks in the game.
I didn't pre-watch, I promise. I didn't pre-watch. Alright, I never pre-watched these.
Battle stages, though, they're not really comparable to the racing ones. I could rank those on their own, but I can't really be bothered booting up the battle mode in this game. It's not very good.
This
isn't going to be based on any objective analysis of track design or anything. That's not what...
Oh, hang on, it's different in other regions. Oh, that's what it is. I just thought, like, people said Bowser Bike because it was, like, a Bowser on a bike, so it was, like, slang. It was, like, a slangification. I didn't know... Oh, got it. Okay, that makes sense now. Thank you. And also, Mia Sonode, hello. Thank you for the big currency. Holy shit. Claps in the chat, guys. Oh, that's the wrong one. I didn't mean to... Oh! We'll do them both. Thank you so much. This isn't a bribe, by the way. I just want to give you some support. And I'll maybe be ranking every course in 8DX later because of your videos. Ooh, okay, well. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll be watching that too. Let's continue. Thank you for the donor.
Just how fun I find them to race on, with other aspects like aesthetic and music that can play into things. Also, the cup that each track is in, as well as whether it's new or retro, can have somewhat of an influence on how I feel about it. Early game courses being easy is not something that bothers me, and I'm not exactly going to rag on the newly created circuit tracks for being very simple and basic, because it's a Mario Kart staple that exists as a way to ease new players into how the game works.
So far, Biff is meeting all my standards. I really like him. I'm a big fan. He's doing, because one thing I really hate is when people say, oh, like like Luigi Circuit's mid, and it's like, yeah, but it's a beginning track. It's kind of supposed to be, so.
But if Nintendo's going to go out of their way to pull more basic and simple circuit tracks for the retro selection, when there are other far more interesting alternatives they could have gone with, yeah, that's going to knock those ones down a few spots. Especially if they happen to be, and this is speaking purely hypothetically, thrown into the Lightning Cup, which is supposed to be the big finale for the retro cups.
Well, I get something tells me he's not a fan of Mario Circuit 3. Something tells me. Well, we'll see what he has to say about that.
Oh, and as per usual, footage sources will be linked in the description because I still don't have a capture card. Not much more to it than that.
I don't blame you. They're expensive.
Much
big fan of you too, Biff. I'm a big fan of you too. Don't worry, Biff. Listen, let's hope by the end of this we stay homies. I don't know. You're still in like the homie section. I don't know about you, man. We'll see what happens at the end. And Glide, thank you ever so much, Glide, for joining the Moscow Royal Guard, guys. If you want to become a member for the channel, it helps me a lot. And Glide, you're absolutely homie. Is that not are you like subscribed on like Twitch and YouTube? You're crazy. Thank you so much, Glide. Thank you so much. And let's go. Let's continue.
Mario Galaxy boss ranking. I don't really need an E or F tier because there aren't any tracks in this game that I find insultingly bad or anything.
What did I put in F tier? I was going to say what did I put in F tier, but I think I put Warriors Gold Mine. I'm going to admit undeservedly so. I will re-rank Wii, don't worry. Moonview Highway, which is deservedly so. And what was there was one more track I put in there as well. Was it Desert Hills, I think? I think about those 3 in like the F tier. So he's a bit more generous. He's a bit more generous with his takes. Let's see.
Just some that
Was it Grumble? It was Grumble. Oh, Grumble, Moonview, and Volcano. That's what. Thank you.
I don't much care for. Now,
Grumble,
I
Goldmine,
know
and
Coconut Mall's
Moonview.
pretty beloved, and I'm not going to be making
Chat, he's lying. He's faking us out. He's faking us out.
any friends by putting it in last place.
He's faking.
So it's good for me that this is an obvious fake out and I'm not actually going to
Okay,
do that.
all right.
Instead, we have DS.
Imagine a reality where somebody put Coconut Mall in the 32nd out of 32 tracks. That would be pretty funny, but it's not this list, thankfully. Instead, it's a more reasonable one.
Desert Hills. I don't like sand levels usually, especially not desert levels.
No
and
one
this
does.
one is not an exception.
Trust
there
me.
are a few
I'm
decent
actually
shortcuts.
if there's anyone in the chat who actually likes desert levels, I would love to know what you. I'm being genuine, by the way. I'd love to know what you like about them because just me and Biff again, we're still homies. I just think they're so bland and boring. Is it because like Mario Kart hasn't done them well? Are they like? Because I know some of you guys are like Crash Team Racing Andes. Because sometimes I get comments saying to review those, and I'm like, hey, listen, I like Crash when he's a platformer, not when he's a racer. I don't fuck with him on the race course, all right? On the platforming, me and him are homies. I played all 4 games. But I don't really play the race games. Like, does Crash Team Racing do desert levels better? I would love to know. Because in Mario Kart, there hasn't been a single one that's really blown me out of the water. Like, Bone Dry Dunes looks cool. I would say looks the coolest. But even then, that's kind of just, you know? And, like, Dry Dry Ruins is probably the most fun, like, gameplay-wise. But even then, it just kind of, you know, like, will there ever be a good desert course? We'll just have to see. And Super Roll 64. You guys are being far too generous today. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. You're far too kind. $10. Big money. Your Mario Kart tier list inspired me to play every game in the series and do my own tier list. Oh my god. Am I just inspiring everyone? Hey, bruv, that gives me. Hey, listen, I don't mind. If you, I'll be able to give my watchful eye to it. And give it a review of my own maybe someday. But let me know. Let me know if you post it. If you go on the, I think you're in the Discord, right? If you're on the Discord, you can post it there. I usually take a look. The community there usually loves to give as much scrutiny as I do. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me know when you do post it though. Let's continue.
And I appreciate them throwing in some enemies rarely seen anywhere else in the game, but that can't save a track I find this boring. I don't like the visuals in spite of a few neat
Oh,
bits
my
of
bad.
feeding
Sorry.
around Mario.
I forgot about Shy Guy Bazaar. Shy Guy Bazaar. Shy Guy Bazaar is okay. Shy Guy Bazaar is good, but it doesn't like, it's not mind blowing, I would say. I think I put it in A myself. So it's good, but I'm thinking like S. Oh, is there ever going to be like an S tier desert course? Mark Warriors managed to do it for ice, but not so much for desert. Let me just read it. I asked the question to chat, so let me catch up, shall we? I like Desert Hills because of the turns, I suppose. The shortcuts are fun. I hope Biff mentions it, who knows? But I think the shortcuts for Desert Hills are fun, but that's kind of it. Desert Hills okay, I suppose. I don't hate them. There's some good ones. When Mario Kart with friends, I said, hold a vote for the track picks, and I cancelled the second one from the Desert Hills. Hello, Base Department. They have a few. Treasure Ruins is good, but that's because of the whole map is a desert. You have a temple. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like like deserts have like ruins, temples. They kind of use that to its advantage. That's fine. I don't mind that sort of thing. But they just seem to be allergic. Like I think Bone Dry Dunes has like a sunken ship thing somewhere. I think. I don't know, man. I don't know. They just need to do something else. Shy Guy is on my bad. I completely forgot about Shy Guy. Hey, and also hey, Cheeseland is not a desert course. It's made out of cheese. It's made out of cheese. I will have no one convince me otherwise. It's made out of cheese. It is delicious and very much eatable, all right? The only part that isn't edible is the part we race on because that would just be horrific. And that still hasn't stopped people from taking chomps out of it in the 8 Deluxe version. Must do when he sees a desert. True.
Mario Bros 3 like the Angry Sun. I don't care for the music. I find the layout very dull. Yeah, I'll give this one a pass, thanks. Alright, that's all the tracks that I dislike. Yeah,
really?
Only 1 out of 32. I kinda like this game if you couldn't tell.
I think a lot more generous than me, but let's see what else he's got.
I feel like I'm always forgetting that N64 Mario Raceway is even in this game. The most standout part to me is the pipe tunnel at the end, which adds basically nothing. Was it
like 5 circuits in this game? Like Mario Kart, wow, don't fuck with us Mario Kart Wii fans. We'll race on 7 circuits and we'll still call it the best game in the series. Like, I love Mario Kart Wii, but Jesus Christ. It's like 5? It's 5, right? 5 circuits? Jesus.
The rest
6? Is 6 actually?
Plain. SNES Mario.
And here's another, here's another one.
The music is fine. The track layout is fine. The visuals are so overwhelming.
Fine. It's just fine, isn't it?
All these Lego bricks on the outskirts. Honestly, couldn't tell you, but that is my biggest takeaway from this. There is also a shortcut and an oil puddle and a boost at the end. That is, That's something. This feels very out of place in the
Also, if I'm going to give Mario Circuit 3 its plaudits, it does in fact have the patterned tiles, the striped patterned pattern that we love to see on those patterned tiles, don't we, guys? Don't we? And that is the reason why Biff Weed put it above Mario Raceway. Thank you. He didn't mention that in the video, but like I'm covering for him, you know? Thank you for that, Biff.
And that is that's something. This feels very out of place in the Lightning Cup, which is a
It
shame
does.
because otherwise that would have all of my favorite retro tracks in it. GBA Shy Guy Beach.
Oh no! Another Shy Guy Beach hater. Oh no! I'm just on the wrong side of history, aren't I? I think I just have to accept the fact. It's a bit like with Warriors Goldmine. I just have to accept I'm on the wrong side of history. I can't even be angry anymore. I'm just disappointed. Disappointed that my take isn't the correct one. What the hell, man? I like this track. It's not the... Man, okay, maybe if they scaled it down like 20%, it'd be perfect. Come on, it's not the... I'm huffing copium right now, man. I'm huffing.
Irritating substance. Cannonballs and crabs make for neat hazards.
They
I like this
do.
one chain of mini islands you can hop between with the manual
That's
drift.
neat.
The rest of it isn't anything all that interesting. I think if you asked me to list all the tracks in this game, GameCube Mario Circuit would be the last one I'd think of. Even more than Mario.
I'm mad at you,
Raceway,
Biff,
I
now.
always
I'm
forget
mad.
this is even in
I'm
the
mad.
game, but it at least makes for a decent enough time whenever I end up on it.
Oh, what is it? I think he said something. Less of a hater, more I feel nothing towards it. Is it you can't sit on the fence. You either love a track or you hate it. All right. So your indifference, I'm classifying as hate, Biff. God damn it! Can't believe this.
It's another mostly plain Mario Circuit that feels like it could have been replaced with any better retro track, especially coming from Double Dash of all games.
I really do like this Mario Circuit, but yeah, in a game with like what 7 circuit tracks, I'm just gonna keep increasing the number by 1 every time I reference it at this rate. But in a game with like 8 circuit tracks, having just this one is just kind of, you know. I like it. I'm very nostalgic for it,
But it does have more things I like to place it above the other forgettable ones. This one at least has a chain chomp, piranha plants, a tunnel, the bumpy road at the end, and the bridge that you can trick off to finish a lap. Yoshi Falls is pretty alright, but far from the best option to pull from DS. It's very basic and simple with some not especially memorable music.
who is it? Where are they? Where are they? Where are the Yoshi Falls defenders? Where are you? Where I remember. I could have sworn I remembered when I was tier listing Yoshi Falls. There was so many people going, "Oh my God, Musty, no, Musty, I love you." No, well, hang on. What was it? Wasn't it in Mario Kart DS where I was going to put it in F? And then someone in the chat was like, "No, Musty, please put it in D. Please put it in D because of Yoshi." And then I was like, I decided to do my one nice deed of the day and said, you know, I'll put it in D instead. I can't believe this. Peak Falls. Yoshi Falls for 10 hours. That's my favorite version, honestly.
But it's got some really pretty backgrounds. I love the look of the waterfalls.
I still don't like the fact that this second waterfall is just entirely useless. I just don't like... I wish, like, the waterfall skipping gimmick was, like, a consistent thing across all 3 sections. But instead, in the middle, they're just like, no, we're just not going to let you do that. You know that thing that the first waterfall taught you could do to skip the track? Yeah, we're not going to let you. We're just not going to let you.
And I remember
what's the
always trying
point?
to launch myself to the egg in the center as a kid. Otherwise, it's nothing special.
Hang on, what was that? Let me hear that again.
I remember always trying to launch myself to the egg in the center as a kid.
I always, do you know what, right? If there's one thing I love it when people tell me like their weird things they used to do in Mario Kart when they were younger. Because I used to, do you know what we used to do, right? We used to, I think my favorite one, I don't think I've ever told this, but in Yoshi's Circuit, in the original GameCube version only, there was a secret underground tunnel you could take. I don't know if you've ever seen it. But we used to play 4 players of Mario Kart. 2 people each car. So you could have player 1 driving, player 2 on the back of one car, and then player 3 driving, player 4 on the back of one car. And we used to just like, there was a punch move you could do where like the people on the back could punch the other cars. So we used to like punch each other off the underground section. We used to like say, we own this spot. So we'd keep punching the other people over. That was like my favorite thing to do as a kid. So I'm just imagining a young Biff Weed trying to just aim for the egg, and that's quite nice. That's quite cute.
Otherwise, it's nothing special. It's a very short track.
Second Wolf was actually a brilliant subversion because when you think you're having fun in all 3 sections, the game says no, none of that. Yeah, too much fun in my beginner cup. You can't be having that. You can't be having that. Let's see some takes. I think Yoshi Falls is better than what people say because the waterfalls is more than what a lot of tracks have. I generally speaking, I tend not to say because a track is more interesting than another track, that track gets a higher ranking. I generally tend not to do that unless unless like every track sucks, then I guess there can be a best of a bad bunch. But I generally like to hold most tracks to like one standard baseline, and then like if you fall below it, you fall below it. That's generally how I tend to prefer to do it. So that's kind of how I do it. You should also have to do it so with the second one was to give the rest of the roster a
track with a lot of booster pads to make it even shorter, which does help it feel very fast at least, but that also means it's over before it can even make an impression.
Yoshi Falls is good, come on. You know, considering this game has 10 circuit tracks, I'll give Yoshi's Falls to you. Don't worry.
I like that you can take a risk and go through some small waterfalls to get some items. That's about it, yeah. Back in
hang on.
2020, can go through some small waterfalls.
Is this real Biff gameplay? Holy shit, how close to the edge were you there, Biff? Oh my god. This is real Biff gameplay.
That's about it, yeah. Back in 2020,
That's crazy.
I did a tier list that had Dry Ruins and D tier alongside Desert Hills. But upon revisiting this one, yeah, I kind of liked it. I still don't like the visuals at all desert levels suck,
nah, no one does.
But this one has enough going for it to push it past that. I like the back-to-back walls you can trick off. The pillars becoming ramps is pretty creative. The pit that fills with sand between laps is pretty cool. And there are some neat shortcuts that can be done with a mushroom. They do bring back the Wario's Goldmine bats though.
Oh, have you got... Hey, hang on. Oh.
Cool. And there are some neat shortcuts that can be done with a mushroom. They do bring back the...
Yo, Biff, this is some hardcore gaming you're doing. Gee, what? How did you do this? What the fuck? I didn't know you could do this. Legit. I'm learning new things every day.
The Wario's Goldmine bats though, which are pretty annoying and lose it a few points. Overall a decent track though, despite my preconceived biases against it. When I was a child...
Didn't I also put it... I think I put it in B, like Dry Ruins. He put it in C, so... I can understand it. It's still a desert track, so it just kind of like passively just gets a debuff, so I understand it. But I think Dry Ruins deserved at least a B for me. But either way, I'm not going to fight too hard on it.
Played on N64 DK Jungle Parkway. I didn't register that the water was orange because of the sunset. I thought the race took place next to a big lake of orange juice. I want to go back to that ignorant bliss. I don't.
So do I, honestly.
It's decent. I like the spiral and the big jump at the start. The bridge at the end is alright. The cave is pretty neat. The main jungle section is whatever. What I don't like though, surprisingly, is the music. This is one of the few songs in the game that I just can't get into. GBA Bowser...
Really? Oh damn, you don't like 15-second jungle loops? Oh, you know, if you've gone from homie to not homie... I don't know, man. I don't know. Lift lead? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Smoke weed every day.
We're not smoking weed anymore, man.
Bowser's Castle 3 is a good track, but it's a little too long for me and kind of overstays its welcome. That's not a problem most other long tracks in the game have, but those ones bring enough to the table to where I feel they justify their length. They're dynamic and varied enough in their visuals and or layout to keep me engaged the whole way through.
Could you do that one more time, Mr. Biff?
Length. They're dynamic and varied enough in their visuals and or layout to keep me engaged the whole way through.
I can imagine this is Biff in the editing room. I can imagine this is Biff. So let's listen to this. Hang on. Let's try this one more time, chat. Let's try this one more time. Let's listen to the... Because I imagine he recorded the audio first, then recorded the video, right? So he was like...
Length. They're dynamic and varied enough in their visuals and or layout to keep me engaged the whole way through.
Oh, I know. Oh, I'm Biff. This is Biff of the past talking. Oh, I know. Oh, I'm a genius, mate. I'm a fucking genius. Grumble Volcano gameplay when I'm talking about varied and interesting gameplay. Oh, man. Oh, yes. That's mint. That is mint. I'll post that. Oh, man.
Visuals and or layout to keep me engaged.
Oh, good visuals? Grumble Volcano? That's mint. That is mint, mate. I'm posting that. 23k video views. Let's go.
The whole way through. This one feels like I'm looking at the same shit for the entire race.
Oh, come on! But what? Grumble Volcano doesn't? Oh, come on! Oh, come on! Like, don't get me wrong, I think this rendition of Bowser Castle 3 just kind of somewhat misses the mark for me as well, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Game. But come on, we already had 2 Bowser's Castle tracks in this game. And those 2 being as amazing as they are means that this one being only decent gets outshined hard.
I suppose you're right. But then again, come on, we have like 11 circuit tracks. What's 3 Bowser Castles, right? Come on.
I feel like I've been overly negative for a track that I still like though. So I'll say that I like that it has a lot of turns, the chain floors look cool, that one shortcut I'll never be able to do is pretty neat, and I like that some sections have chunks of the floor missing. This has made me realize that out of all the cups in this game, the Leaf Cup is probably my least favorite. It's still perfectly fine, I enjoy all of the non-Desert Hills tracks decently enough. Though if my favorite of the bunch is stuck down in C tier, that doesn't bode especially well. I know the Shell Cup is universally considered to be the low point, but at least that has a few tracks that click with me enough to go into the B tier. So why don't we move on to said B tier right now?
Let's do it. Let's go to B.
Yo, GameCube Peach Beach is a soundtrack that's better than decent? Never thought I'd see the day. I'm not usually a beach fan, but this track has a nice chill vibe to it and a cool setting in front of a hotel, with a slightly branching path, constantly changing tide, and
you know, Biff, fuck it. Let's light one up, man. Let's light one up. He likes my childhood Mario Kart. We love Biff Weed again.
This could have gotten quite a bit higher. Seriously, you couldn't at least make this fountain mandatory to go around or something? That's what I'm
saying. I've said that. I've been saying this for years and no one has listened to me. No one has listened to me. For some reason, fucking reason.
If half this track wasn't plain straight.
This waterfall. This fountain here. You could go around it for an item box. Like, but in Mario Kart Wii, why would you go around it? Because there's only a single item. In Double Dash, you got a double at least. That's what. I've been saying this for years, and thankfully someone's listened to me. I can't believe this.
Higher. Seriously, you couldn't at least make this fountain mandatory to go around or something? I can't help but be charmed by Moo Moo Meadows. It's not got much standing out other than the cows which wander into the middle of the course, but it's a nice little early game track, with a neat way to end off each lap with the ramp over the patches of grass before the final turn. Am I going crazy, or is Luigi Circuit actually kinda good? I guess.
You might have hit a bit too much weed there, homie. You gotta lay off the weed, Biff. You gotta lay off the weed. I think he's gotta lay it off. I'm not gonna lie.
It's super short, simple, and doesn't have too much going on. But at the same time, it's the very first track in the game. It exists to get new players.
Okay, I know I literally just said I tend not to compare tracks against each other, but I think when it comes to like the first track in each Mario Kart, I think that's a fair shout, because the first track in the game is supposed to serve a very simple purpose. It's to be at least somewhat interesting and introduce people to the game itself. And while this Luigi Circuit does it, it basically just feels like a boneless version of GameCube's one. And I just can't help but see it in that light. Is it fair? Maybe not, but I just can't help but see it like that. The GameCube one is way better. Like, it does this one. This one's just the worst version. That's all I gotta say. I don't know.
Acquainted with how it works, and I think it does that well enough. It's only got a few soft turns, while also having this ramp to get you acquainted with the trick system, an opportunity.
It also, as Lucas has pointed out, though, it does in fact have these striped pattern tiles, as you guys can see. So, do you know what, Biff? You know what? We're homies again, Biff.
For a shortcut through the sand at the end, and it has this assortment of booster pads, which is just a lot of fun to go through. I don't know, I think this does what it needs to basically perfectly, even if that leads to it being a lot less memorable than some other tracks. Wii Mario Circuit is a fairly solid first track for one of the starting cups.
How many? Is it what? Is there 12 circuits now?
Like
Jesus.
Circuit, it doesn't have especially much going on, but it's an easy early game course which introduces you to shortcuts and booster pads with that chain chomp section. Plus the figure 8 shape with all the hills makes it feel a lot more exciting than a basic circle track. The music's really good too. Not much to it, it's simple but effective.
Yeah,
SNES Ghost Valley 2 is where the Shell Cup peaks for me, and that is a little depressing. Especially because I know not having this in C tier is a relatively lukewarm take. Cause yeah, it is a very simple track visually, but I'll be damned because I actually kind of really like this one. I like the atmosphere built by the dark backgrounds and eerie music. This was the track to introduce me to shortcuts as well, I think. The trig boost pad that makes you jump over the item box at the end is cool, and I always found it super satisfying to bump into the walls and knock down as many blocks as I could. Wario's Gold Mine is a pretty good and surprisingly tricky course for one of the starting cups with how many places there are to fall off.
I don't know, guys. I'm just on the wrong side of history. Seems like everyone loves Goldmine but me.
The first half isn't up to particularly.
Everyone loves Goldmine but me.
But the titular Goldmine is what steals the show. I love the big leap onto the road with the minecarts, and that branches off into one of the coolest split paths in the game. The banjo music fits this incredibly well too. I will say though that the bats are
18 is still like, well, remember this is the B tier. I think this is one thing I don't generally I tend to structure my videos by like just doing each track. One thing with the numbered system is it kind of like makes people forget where you are relative to the game. So even though this is the 18th best, I think this is what, mid-B we're on at the moment? So you've got to remember that. Like, this might seem low because it's 18th out of 32nd, but this is mid-B we're talking about, so do bear that in mind.
They're kind of annoying. The main carts can be too.
And ironically, it was one of the most difficult placements for me to decide. What made it difficult for you? Well, actually, you know what? We'll save that for the gamer alert at the end. Don't worry. If you're free to chat on Discord, we'll save it for that. We'll save it for that.
But not nearly as often.
I'll make a note of that. I'll make a note of that. I'm gonna write a note of that so I don't forget while you talk about the most mid track. Hang on, 17 mid B Sherbetland. Hang on. I was gonna just let this play while I write that as a note just in case, but you know I'm curious. 17th mid B for Sherbetland. Gonna have to explain this one to me, Biff.
Little there is to it. I love the cool blue color palette. The music's really nice, and I like how it changes in the cave.
Oh, the music's nice too. It's nice in the way it makes me. I love that about it.
The end. The cave in general is a great set piece.
It is. You're right about that.
The physics never feel that obnoxious. I like these little penguin dudes sliding around as well.
I like them too.
I like the detail of your character freezing in a block of ice whenever they fall into the water.
Pretend I could find footage for this.
Also, much like Yoshi Falls, I spent way too much time as a kid trying to make it to the island in the middle. This is a
that's
very charming course in its simplicity, and I always have fun going back to it.
I don't know, man. It's a nice track. In the same way, me and Biff seems to be aligned in our desert track hatred. When it comes to ice tracks, I guess he's more sympathetic than me. I guess that childhood memory must be doing a lot of the hard carrying there, because Sherbetland is just. This track's got this got nothing for me, man. This has got absolutely nothing for me. Like, the penguins are like the coolest thing about this, and that's just kind of it, to be honest. I love Sherbetland, but not above Dry Dry. Sherbetland's a remake in 9 with underwater and gliders. That could be quite fun. Honestly. The difficulty spike's insane for Goldmine, but I think that's probably the reason I didn't like it as a kid, because I always thought End of Flower Cup was a bit much for Goldmine, but either way, it is what it is.
The island in the middle. This is a very charming center with a lovely color palette.
Wow, guys, Daisy Circa for Wave 6. Wow.
And really good music. I like the diverging roads around the statues of the best couple. This shortcut is one of my favorites, and being able to go up these ramps and drive above everyone else is pretty neat too. It's not a favorite of mine. It's a little too simple for a late game course, and it's for sure the least standout offering in the Star Cup. But considering its competition, that's not much of a detriment. Damn, DS Delfino Square kinda slaps.
It does!
One of the most interesting visually, and some turns can be a bit of a pain, but I like
W Biff, we're whiff weeding in the chat, gamers.
I love the bridge at the end as well, and how it goes up and down between laps. The music's also very nice. It has this cozy, homey vibe to it, as does the entire setting actually. Alright, onto the tracks that I absolutely adore now.
But if anything, if I was gonna say anything, Delfino being in high B as opposed to A, I don't know. But I won't fight you on that. It's just slight, ever so slight, really. I'll say that as a Daisy Circus stand, he has no business being in the BCP. You know, respectable. I'll take it.
I can't believe I was going to put GameCube Waluigi Stadium in C tier initially.
Whoa! Right, Biff, if you did, it would have been so. That would have been so Joe. But you know, we're back. We are back.
What the hell?
We are so back.
This is basically the most fitting retro track to bring back with the introduction of the trick system.
Biff is back, and he's better than ever in this epic tier list.
Really neat layout that has several points where it loops over itself. I think it does an amazing job at setting the atmosphere of a big sporting event with a jumbo screen and the crowd.
It does, right?
Whenever you do a trick. And
yeah.
Being fake is another detail that I really like. This is no Waluigi pinball, but it's still damn good.
I fucking love
Unsurprisingly outdone by the new Bowser's Castle. It doesn't have quite as much going on, but that's to be expected because it is a retro track after all. This at least has a more interesting layout from just the minimap, I guess. And between the two of them, this might have my preferred background music. I'm not entirely sure.
Really? This? Well, I mean, I guess if you're comparing it to Wii's Bowser Castle music, it's just the mid-off, really, isn't it? Between this and Wii Bowser Castle's music, they're both just kind of. I know what's gonna happen, but Musty, the Wii Bowser Castle's music is like is Maple Tree Way just slowed down. Yeah, I know it's shit still. Okay, fuck.
Sure, it's pretty neck and neck for me. But even if it doesn't measure
atmosphere of it being catchy, I said this exact same thing when I did my 64 tier list. I don't mind a track being atmospheric, but I think for a game like Mario Kart, a fast-paced, party-based, play with your friends kind of game, I think it also should be catchy along with being atmospheric. And my go-to case in point for that would be GameCube's Bowser Castle. I think that also does a good job of sounding ominous or sounding very catchy. I think this one does one very well, not the other though.
its successor overall, this is still a fantastic course that takes you through a variety of locations throughout the castle, with loads of thwomps in the hall to pose as obstacles. One of them is in jail for some reason, which spawned that fake creepy anti-piracy screen. This is seriously some of the coolest shit. It's so...
Bro, do you guys remember the anti-piracy like arc the internet went on? Oh, some of them went a bit too much into creepypasta territory, but some of them were so good. Oh my god, I remember that. Oh, that was a good meme. That was a good time to be on the internet, if you ask me. I'm so scared. I loved it, wasn't it? Wasn't it great? Maybe I'm weird, but I love listening to postcards on 64 music, especially during Halloween. I think it does a good job atmospherically. Just it doesn't do enough. It doesn't do enough for me personally. You know, opinions be opinions, or what have you. The Mario Party DS one is probably the peak, and that's like the peak of them, I would say.
So terrifying. What makes it all the more unsettling is that it's characters you know. GameCube DK Mountain is a very similar concept to DK Snowboard Cross,
good cutoff.
or DK Summit, depending on which version of the game you're playing. This hits a lot of the beats I like about that one, traveling up to the top of a mountain via cannon and racing back down. But I do prefer the other one because I like the...
Do you recognize the reference, Misty? You seem to catch some people out in the comments. Unfortunately, you just went right past me. I'm sorry, Biff. If you want to do like a Did You Know gaming segment, I'll let you have the floor for that. Don't worry.
No aesthetic more than the jungle one. Though I do appreciate the falling rock hazards here, and that bridge at the end makes the end of every lap really
Yes.
nerve-wracking.
Oh, I hope. I'm praying to God, guys. They better not. Oh, Peach Gardens. I hope they do not nerf the bridge. Please do not nerf the bridge. Please do not nerf the bridge. The bridge is where men went to die. And where women unfortunately got letters that their man died in the war. Honestly, it was horrible. It was nerve-wracking, and that's why you loved it.
The falling rock hazards here. It insists on a lot of these tracks, so I don't know if saying DS Peach Gardens is my favorite retro track in the game is a hot take, but oh well. I love this track.
You love Peach Garden, guys. You love Peach Gardens. We all love Peach. We love Peach Gardens.
It's split into multiple segments, with no one straight path you have to take through most of them, whether it's a maze-like area that you avoid huge bushes in, or an area full of flower beds that you usually have to avoid but can boost through to catch up if you have a mushroom. This track does a lot with its concept, I think. And also it has for sure the best use of chain chomps in the game thanks to the risk-reward factor.
Actually true.
Toad's Factory is probably the track I've heard praised the most outside of Coconut Mall. At least out of the...
So why is it only 10th, Biff? Why is it only in mid-A, Biff? Why is it on S tier? Biff!
Concept's wholly original to this game, and I can see why. Even if it's just a standard square track, this is enough going on to set it apart from a lot of the other tracks. The crushers, moving platforms, conveyor belts, and the spiral at the end, all lead to this one having a lot of memorable moments.
My
with a
top
very unique
one.
setting that I don't think
My
any
absolute
other Mario
top
Kart game
one.
has replicated. I will say
Even better than Wii Rainbow Road. I don't care who L's me for that.
But when you're able to boost through it and trek off that one last ramp on the final lap, it can end the race off on a very high note.
So good!
From what I've seen, Grumble Volcano...
I was having such a good time, Biff. I was having such a good time. You did this on purpose. In the same way, Shifrilus purposely referenced Metroid Prime Federation Force, shit on Super Circuit, and put Neo Bowser City low just to fuck with me and only me specifically. You did the high of Toad's Factory. And I said, you know what, Musty? Do you know what would be really, really fucking funny? Do you know what would be really funny? Do you know what would be funny?
Volcano was a contender for the...
Grumble Volcano, that's mint. I'm posting that. That's mint. That's mint, mate. I'm posting that. From the top.
And end the race off on a very high note. From what I've seen, Grumble Volcano is a contender for the most divisive track in all of Mario Kart Wii. It's arguably one of the hardest courses in the game, which leads to it being super tilting sometimes.
And then on top of that, he implies that it's a skill issue right off the rip. Biff, what are you doing to me? You're doing the Shifrilus thing again. So Grumble Volcano right after Toad's Factory, and it's like, man, people seem to hate this track because maybe they're just not like good. Maybe they're just not like good guys. Oh my lord, Biff.
So you either love
what are you
it
doing
or
to
you
me?
hate it. As for where I stand on that, well, we're in the A tier section of the video, so you tell me. There are tons of branching paths, as well as unique hazards, like these fire enemies that never appear anywhere else. Don't fact check me on that. There's a smaller volcano launching fireballs on the course, and the road itself crumbles away each lap. It's an incredibly intense race with the ominous music building an even better atmosphere. This was the coolest use of a volcano.
I feel like you found... I don't know what I feel like you found someone playing this game who just like hit as many bananas as possible. Biff, was that on purpose? I normally don't. I don't really comment on the gameplay because it's someone else's gameplay. It's very nice that they let you use it, but like this guy's hit like 7 bananas, didn't he?
Volcano I'd ever seen in a game until.
I'm surprised he missed that banana.
The year after. I get why people wouldn't like.
But and then let's go moving anyway. Oh, Biff, my man, you were doing so well. I can't believe this. Okay, we got a break in the action. Super Raul decided to give us another $2. Beautiful. Although I say beautiful, but Grumble Volcano is the best tracker. You could join the Biff side over there, man. You could join the Biff side, man. Fuck.
Like Moonview Highway. The cars can be very overwhelming.
Yes!
But me personally, I love it. It does what I like most about Wario's Gold Mine, then does it better by having cars coming from both directions, while also covering the whole track rather than one small segment. This is really difficult to get through unscathed, but that's all part of the fun. I only ever take issue with it when a car blindsides me around a corner. Other than that, this—
Yeah, that's the— yes! That's the— That's why I love how I just love. Oh, this is why I love watching Mario Kart tier list, because something that for Biff is just like, oh yeah, sometimes a car just blindsides you. Oh yeah, that just happens. For me, that's like the #1 reason I absolutely cannot stand the Wii rendition of this track. There's so many cars that using the oncoming lane is basically a death wish. Like on principle, like as on a game design front, I absolutely cannot stand that. And I get it. Like he said, well, it doesn't happen enough for me to be bothered by it. Fair enough. But I think the fact that there's just so many, from a game design perspective, I just had to rank it low. Was that a bit unfair? Probably. But I'd still rank it low. I still haven't re-ranked my Wii, and I do want to at some point. But I cannot see me playing this again to re-tier this game and going, do you know what? I actually like it. I can't see that happening. Unless I like play it back a bunch and I notice the cars aren't as overwhelming as I thought, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
This track has a great gimmick and plenty.
Or just chalk it up to a
of
difference of experience, I suppose.
Bridge, secret hills, all accompanied with a nighttime city looking amazing.
Mostly when it's to drive on the road, there are cars. Guys, I don't have my driver's license for a reason, alright? Come on.
There are tons of Easter eggs in the advertisements too. If I'm to have any complaints, it's that it kind of gets a little too simple in its layout towards the end, considering it's in the Special Cup.
Yeah!
It makes up for that with all the boost pads that let you zoom through it really quickly. In an ideal world, this would have been where the course started, and then the hectic traffic would close off each lap. But
I
still,
thought so too,
this is
yeah.
a fantastic track through and through. Now let's get on to my favorites, the S tiers.
S tier.
Wee Bowser's Castle was going to be the gatekeeper at the top of A tier initially, but the more I think about it, the more it feels wrong to not have an S tier with how phenomenally it's executed.
S?
There are so many memorable set
This
pieces
one?
here, from the bridge
S?
ramp into the Bowser's mouth door, the wavy halls, the cool-ass giant stone Bowser chucking fireballs and then splitting the road in two, the lava geysers at the end. There's so much creativity here. It's also pretty difficult, fitting for the penultimate track before Rainbow Road. Mushroom Gorge is the epitome of simple but
Yeah,
effective.
okay.
Mushrooms make this way
The Bowser Castle, I think it's good, but S, I don't know, I wouldn't say so. For me, like, I feel like S and A, like, are a pretty big, like, you have to be, like, quite substantial to get into the S for me, so that's just kind of how it works, I don't know. This is the second cup in the Special Cup. This is the second cup in the Special Cup. I think it's obvious that it's pretty difficult on purpose. I suppose you're right, but on principle, I just hate that. I just hate that the oncoming lane is so chock-a-block that you can't really use it. I understand I love risk reward. I love risk reward as a gimmick. I fucking love it. It's one of my favorite game design principles of all time. And it's not because I played a bunch of Burnout as a kid. But I absolutely love risk reward. But when the risk is just not worth it, it's like, is the reward even worth it at that point? Either way, we'll yell at each other about that later on if you're down for it.
way more standard than any other standard grass or dirt track.
No disagreements here. No disagreements here.
All that good stuff. But what really makes this a standout is the cave. This was always one of my favorite things in the game.
Also, to ask the chat real quick, okay, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But obviously, I'm taking notes for my big ranking of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? I don't know how to put this in words, and I hope someone can help me. I really hope someone can help me. But this rendition of Mushroom Gorge is just like, yes, I love it. But the modern one just makes me like, I don't know what it is. I'm just like, I suppose this is a track, eh? I mean, it's good, but I'm just not getting the... Like, when Waluigi Stadium came back, a track I absolutely adored. I absolutely love it again. I've fallen in love twice. But this is a stage I absolutely loved, and I'm just like, when it came back in the BCP, I'm just kind of like, I mean, it's good, but I'm not, like, pog crazy. I don't know. I'm hoping someone can help me like articulate it because the bounce just feels less satisfying because of the physics. It might be that. I might have to like play them back to back because like it's genuinely been like plaguing my mind. There's like a couple of tracks where I'm just like, I don't know what to think of this. And Mushroom Gorge is one of them because I'm watching this
The
gameplay.
alternate routes it provides are
I'm
really
just like,
cool,
this
and it
is.
makes full
I like this. I like this. Is it the? It's not the glider. I know 100% it's not the glider. I actually love the glider section. I think adding this second part as the glider, I think is actually fantastic. I thought that was a very, very good way to do the obligatory 7 injection. But there's just something about it. I have to think about it over later. But I don't know. Either way, sorry, Biff, you were talking. My bad.
It's
Sorry.
got some neat shortcuts, branching paths, all that good stuff. But what really makes this a standout is the cave. This was always one of my favourite things in the game. The alternate routes it provides are really cool, and it makes full creative use.
So guys, were you guys left path or right path? Because like this guy's taking the left path. I never used to take the left path as a kid. It'd always be the right. It'd always be the right. I don't know which one's faster, but it would always be right path. Were you a righty or a lefty? It was always right. I've never seen someone go left on this. This is weird to me. This is very, very weird to me.
So the tracks
Like, truly
it
is.
was already great beforehand, but this shot it up to a favourite. Koopa Cape is another one that's been at the top of my list since I was very young. I
Fucking
always thought the
Koopa
opening
Cape.
bit with the ramps and
Biff
the water
Weed.
was a lot of fun.
Back
Plus, the
at it
Koopa shell
again.
was a
Let's
cute little
go.
addition. But then you go down the waterfall and get arguably the coolest set piece in the game. The
Oh, is it-
underwater section gives me life, and the surprise of seeing it for the first time blew my mind.
The electric
I love
section.
underwater tunnels
The
like this, and I
electric
honestly wish this
section.
should have taken up like 90% of the track.
Same.
But as it is, it's still very
Yes.
enjoyable to zip through this at high speeds thanks to the water current,
Biff.
all while trying to
go.
dodge the electrical
W
zappers.
Biff in the
Even
chat.
When you do exit the pipe, I still get a lot of enjoyment out of trying to angle myself to shoot off the cliff when I cross the finish line on the final lap. I also
I think
like
we
how
all
fun
do
and
that.
bouncy the music for this one is, and the way it changes once you go through the pipe is pretty cool too. DK Snowboard Cross is just a better version of DK Mountain for me. Snow levels tend to be some of my
Snowboard
favorites
Cross.
aesthetically, and this one gives me
Snowboard
the great
Cross.
visuals without the drawback of limited visibility or ice physics. On top of that, it's a lot of fun to race on. I find going through the barrel cannon super satisfying, and I think this one uses that concept the best by having it be in place of a usual chairlift. After that, the entire lap is going down the mountain,
Oh,
dodging
actually,
around
hang on. I actually didn't put that together. I didn't put together the cannon is supposed to be. Oh, well, thank you for teaching me that, Biff. I didn't even know.
the best by having it be in place of
I
a
didn't
usual
put that
chairlift.
together for some
After
reason.
that, the entire lap is going down the mountain, dodging around deep patches of snow and avoiding falling off into the bottomless pits with so many opportunities to do tricks. The snowboarding Shy Guys are a great touch as well. This one's just good vibes all around. I love it. And here we are with Coconut Mall's actual play.
Wow, Coconut Mall not in number 1. Oh damn, Biff. I can't, Biff. I can't believe this, Biff. I can't believe you've done this. Coconut Mall is the best track in the game. I can't believe this, Biff. Oh no, you faked me out and you only gave it a bronze. Oh, I can't believe this, Biff.
Thanks, man. Is there any surprise that the fan favorite?
Oh, hang on, wait, hang on, let me see. Are the sleeper cells gonna wake up? Oh, the Coconut Mall, bad. Coconut Mall, bad. See, they're waking up. Look. One's woken up. One's woken up already, guys. Look, there's one. One is awake. One is awake. Welcome to the world of tomorrow, Luke. Welcome to the world of tomorrow. We have Uber Eats and we have Wi-Fi. Life is fucking amazing these days. But the inflation sucks, though. Don't get me wrong.
This is such a unique setting for a track, taking place within a shopping mall with a crowd watching to make it even more atmospheric, and it fully utilises that concept for some really creative stage design. It works
Absolutely.
in escalators that can speed you up or slow you down,
And the escalators look like escalators. Oh my god.
fountains and trees to trick off, apart
I'm kind of burnt out by them all. I don't actually. This is the one take I can actually understand people saying, because does it get a bit? What's it? You've played this game in what? Wii 7 and 8 now. I can understand why people are a bit just like. Listen, mate. I just want to drive home. Fuck them all. Okay, what's going on? I could genuinely understand that, and I feel like there's a genuine shout for like when a stage gets talked about a bit too much, you start hating it because of that. But thankfully, I usually avoid hanging out in circles where people talk. The thing is, as much as I love talking about Mario Kart, I avoid hanging out with anyone that talks about Mario Kart because I don't want to talk about this all day. I like talking about other games, you know? I play so many other games, you know what I mean? So when people say, "Oh, I hate this track because so many other people talk about," I can never relate to them, and I can never relate to that in the slightest.
cars as obstacles, branching paths across multiple floors, even a shortcut you can take through one of the stores, all accompanied by the banger background music. As far as I'm aware, this is the most popular piece of Mario Kart music ever, and it's not even remotely hard to see why.
Yep.
God, Maple Tree Way is gorgeous.
Maple Tree, yes! Oh, Biff, I was like, where's Maple? Is Maple going to be number 1? We all know it's going to be number 1, but...
And this track fully leans into it with a lot of super
Fucking
pretty
love
oranges and
Maple.
yellows. It's nice to listen to as well.
Oh, I'm actually very curious, Biff. Does Biff answer... Okay, what... I want to do this, guys. All right, so... throughout my entirety of watching Maple Tree Way, I've never had an opinion on rope bridge versus no rope bridge because personally, I just don't give a shit. So whatever Biff's opinion is, I'm gonna take that as my opinion and absorb it as my own. So if Biff talks about the rope bridge, I will have his stance as mine. So go on, Biff.
Well, the
lay it on
music
us.
for this track is easily one of my favorites in the game.
Absolutely.
This is an incredibly fun adventure up and down this tree with plenty of twists and turns, giant wigglers at the top to stand in your way, piles of leaves that can have items,
Yep.
and this. I think this is meant to be a net, but who cares? It's fun to do tricks on. Plus, come on, there's a barrel cannon.
So Biff obviously doesn't care neither. So great. You know what? So we still don't care, gamers. We still don't care. W Biff. W Biff's in the chat, yes. Biff gave us the correct take.
It's like this track was made for me, and by process of elimination, you've probably figured out that number one is Rainbow Road.
Yeah, obviously.
This is a fantastic track from beginning to end, featuring my favorite aesthetic and music in the entire game.
Colour me
It
not
also is
shocked.
super well designed too. I remember basically every bit of this track off by heart with how many times I've played through it. The big drop at the start, the wavy road leading up to the giant holes in the ground, these surprisingly harsh turns leading into the satisfying launch star cannon,
Yep.
this sometimes incredibly brutal jump, the branching paths, it's all ingrained into my mind. This course
It's just so well designed, isn't it? Like, even just watching this back now, I feel like it doesn't bore you at any point. It's always doing something interesting, isn't it?
Just to be super creative and fun from beginning to end. And like I said, it's just the one I find the most pleasant to look at and listen to, especially with its unique cosmic sound effects for bashing into the rails and being shot through the launch star. Space themes are always something I'll click with, so this one had the advantage right out of the gate.
Yep.
Not much more to it than that, really. Despite the race for the top spot being fairly close, Rainbow Road checks all the boxes I could want, and I'm happy to call it my favorite track in Mario Kart Wii. So there you
I don't blame you. I mean, Toad's Factory is just like the creme de la creme for me personally, but I respect anyone who puts Rainbow Road in up top. It's just like it's just like as much as I want to be that guy who's like, oh my god, people are just being nostalgia clouded because it references Mario Galaxy and the music and the aesthetic it's just phenomenal to race on. Like let's not pretend here. Like there's a reason why the sleeper cells only work on Waluigi Pinball and Coconut Mall. They never work on the other one on this track because this track is just phenomenal. I'm being like 8 years old. I'm popping off and I finally beat the computers on Rainbow Road. It's that turn. Do you know that turn? Is that one turn you mentioned in particular? I'm glad you mentioned this. It's not this one coming up. Where is it? I think you mentioned it.
start the wavy road leading up to the giant holes in the ground. These surprisingly
This turn. When I nail this turn for the first time, I'm just like, this turn just feels so satisfying to nail for the first time when you're younger, honestly.
harsh turns leading into the satisfying launch.
Like, I would sometimes not even drift it because I just really wanted to stay on. I really wanted to get to this bit without falling off. So it gets difficulty, it has aesthetics, it has the music. It's a masterclass. And I think if it's not at least in your top three, it's like you're the Santa. Like I want to dissect your brain, honestly. I want to dissect your brain. Anyway, I didn't notice the Good Galaxy Million until after I wrote the script from Remember It. Really, you didn't notice it? It's like really, really prominent, but that's strange. Very strange if you ask me. But either way, you've noticed it now. That's what that matters. Probably the hardest turn. Yeah. What did that turn also kill you as well?
Giant holes in the ground. These surprisingly harsh turns.
Did this turn also kill all of you as well? Never listen to headphones. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's understandable. The first time I listened to music with video game music with headphones, like that's when like the timeline divulged to me, and this is the version of most you got when I listened to video game music with headphones for the first time. And there's an alternate timeline where I just listened to Kanye's Graduation over and over and over again. Anyway, let's get to the outro. Outro us.
Not much more to on, and I'm a year or so up my favorite track in Mario Kart Wii. So there you go, my apparently once every year or so video where I talk about a Mario game. Though the only other one of these I've done is when I talked about the Mario Galaxy bosses that one time, so...
Ooh, Mario Galaxy bosses? I should do one of those. And then we should compare and contrast.
Check that out if you're interested, I guess. I'll probably do another video ranking all the 3D Mario games whenever I have the time to play through them all. Or maybe ranking all the tracks in a different Mario Kart game if I play any of those.
I wonder if he ends up doing
anyway,
that.
I don't really have much else for the outro, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave
I did
your own
enjoy
favorite
it.
tracks in the comments.
Except that bit where you faked me out about Toad Factory and Grumble Forget. You did that. He did that on purpose. I'm convinced. I'm convinced that he did. He did that on purpose. My narrative is he did that on purpose, and you cannot convince me otherwise. But other than that, I would say your tier list is great, fantastic, and amazing. You're more based than you are cringe, I will say. The Grumble take notwithstanding, definitely on the base side. That's for sure. Let's smoke weed one more time, gamers. Amazing stuff. Right, Biff, did you want to... Are you on Discord? Did you want me to... Where are you? If you want me to gamer alert you in real time, we can get some post-game analysis. If you're down for that. If not, we'll move on to our next video. What's up? What's your fancy, Biff? What's your fancy? I watched both of these end cards lately. They're rough. Outros are just hard. Outros are just hard in general. Not on my laptop. No problem. We'll do that some other time. But either way, Biff, good video. We'll have a look at maybe another one of yours some other time for sure. But all in all, again, it's that grumble one just fucked with me. That grumble one just fucked with me so hard. they just. I just wasn't expecting that. Whiplash. I really wasn't expecting that. Whiplash. We're still streaming that late. Are we done? I think we're gonna do one more video. So if you're still around after we're done, Mr. Albert Boris, who's up next, then yeah, we'll pull you in. We'll pull you in. Not subscribed to Biff. I am? Oh no, sorry, I'm on my other channel. I'm on my other channel. I'm on my second channel. I'm subscribed to Biff on my first. You know what? We're subscribing on both. Fuck it. I want death battle reviews on both of my fucking feeds. Let's go. Right. That was fun, wasn't it, gamers? Wasn't that fun? What would you say was the take you thought was the most disagreeable for you guys? What would you say in that video? Hang on, let's have a quick skim through. Let's have a quick skim through one more time, shall we? So in D, it was just what? It was just Desert Hills, and that was it. A bunch of them is C, and A you had Waluigi, Bowser Castle, N64. Bit odd if you ask me. Bit odd. Grumble Volcano especially. Toad Factory only in A. I'm crying about that. I can't believe that. Let's not forget about Moonview Highway. What would you say? If you had to fight Biff right now, very sure I watched the content go watch Mr. Hey man, I appreciate it. I appreciate any and all the support again. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. I'm flat. Can you tell I don't take compliments very well? Can you tell? Because I'm like stumbling and fumbling and mumbling way more than I usually do. But I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the kind words. What would you guys say? If you had to gamer alert Biff Weed right now, what would you say to him? Dry that low. Again, it's mid B. That's why that numbering system fucks with me. As much as that numbering system seems cool and all. Like when people say 18th out of 32nd, they think low, but it's not. It's mid B. I think that's fair. I think mid B for Dry Ruins is fair. I would say. Was it mid B or was it C? It was mid B, right? I remember seeing it around here somewhere, right? Or was I? Or did he put it in C? Oh, no, he put it in C. My bad. He put it in C. Which is it lower than mine? Sure, but like a one tier difference usually isn't enough to annoy me. You know, like when it's more than one tier, I'm just like, you know. What else have we got? What else? Guilt tripping, grumbling A, sure. Dry that low. That was criminal. Daisy Circuit too high. It should be triple F tier. Spongy. Oh my god. Albert Boris' favourite fault from DS Mario Circuit and Wii Daisy Circuit. Well, to be fair, when it came to Daisy Circuit, that's my responsibility. He can have DS Mario Circuit, but Daisy Circuit was me because I kept saying Daisy Circuit instead of Daisy Cruiser when I was talking about Daisy Cruiser, so I manifested it into reality. So that's how that ended up happening. Disrespecting Dry. It's the Dry disrespect that people aren't a fan of, Biff. They're not a fan of you. People put a lot of stock in terms of the numbers and tiers, not the content of what's being said. That tends to happen, unfortunately. It's one of those double-edged swords of like doing tier lists, which is why generally when someone just sees where I rank something instead of arguing my point, I tend to just ignore your comments. I tend to just very quickly go, okay, I'm just gonna move on. Especially, I feel like my training in, like, I've been doing security work for like 7 years. I've been like doing doorman work, outside a nightclub. Imagine me outside of a nightclub, guys. Not with this gear. I'll be wearing like a suit and tie and looking all fancy. So when you've had people scream in your face about like how apparently I'm racist for not letting them in, I'm just like, no, you're just drunk. Having someone say my Mario Kart opinion is wrong, it's just like, oh, that's just, oh, thank goodness. I thought you were gonna hit me in the head with a bottle or something. Thank you. Okay, that's fine. That's all. You know, it's like a different world for me. So I know for some people it can be a bit annoying to have their words misconstrued, and I get that too. But for me, it's just no skin off my back. Like when people scream in my face for a job for like years of my life, having someone say they lost all respect for me because I ranked Waluigi Pinball too high, I'm just like, at least you're not throwing a bottle in my face. I'll take that. You know, I'll take that. I think that's why it's very easy for me to just like. Not get too annoyed at YouTube comments. I think, although I say that, but I'm only at 3K subs right now. Maybe when you get more, the problem scales exponentially. Maybe we'll have to see. Anyway. Also, okay, Officer Musty at the house. I don't really do pubs and clubs that much these days, but I had to get out of the game. I was risking a stabbing. I felt like I was one night away from getting stabbed, so I decided to hang up. I just do like office security work now, so. Mister, would you turn me away from your bar if I told you Gone Volcano is good? I wouldn't turn you away from the bar from there. But I would need a bribe for you to get in, that's for sure. But like, no, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I mean, I feel like, do you know what I'll do? I'll be like, do you know what? Shay, I think the club is actually full. I think you might need to jog my memory to see if the counter on my hand is like reached the limit. I think I need a. Oh, that's you speak Queen Elizabeth as well. Oh, that's a mighty fine purple note you've got there. Come on in. That's probably what it'd be more like. You know. Should we move on to the next one, guys? Biff Weed was fun. That was fun, Biff. Thank you for letting us watch that video. I appreciate that. Even though I didn't ask permission. Fair use be damned, I suppose. But should we get to the next one, guys? Should we get to the next one? So, we're going to move on to the next video. On the docket, we have got a gentleman that I've only just discovered recently by the name of Albert Boris. I'm inclined to already not like him because he has Boris in his name, Boris Johnson. Us Brits hate Boris Johnson and his stupid haircut. Well, as we can see from Albert Boris, I think his haircut, I think he pulls off the green hair relatively well, if I do say so myself. Are his takes based, or are they cringe? Let's find out by watching the video itself. We have got ranking every Mario Kart course. Let me try that again. Ranking every course in Mario Kart Double Dash by Albert Boris. You guys know what to do. You guys know the drill. I'm gonna keep saying this every single time. Is Albert? Sorry, hang on, my bad. Is it she, her pronouns, or is it he, him? I don't want to get it wrong for the whole video, and just like feel so embarrassed. I don't want to post this on my channel. Is it she, her, or is it he, him? I really need to know, or I'm gonna be very, very upset. If you guys want to show some love to, they go by she, her parents. Okay, thank you. I'm just gonna go by that. That'll save me the trouble. She, them. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to get them right. I didn't want to get them wrong. I could have been embarrassed. Boris, yeah, I've heard that. Some of you guys have said this. Boris is the king of hot takes. I'm very curious to see what. I'm very curious. I like me some hot takes. I like me some spicy hot takes. Or to watch them if you want. I try and be around. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. If you ever make another one, if you ever make a Mario Kart 8 one, I will be there no matter what. I'll be there no matter what, Biff. But let's move on to Albert Boris. What have you got for us, Mr. Sorry. What have you got for us, Mrs. Albert? Let's start the video.
Franchise still holding us strong.
Let's from the top, Albert, from the top.
It's gone on to become a.
Let's do that. Let's turn you all up. Volume good, guys. Give me a thumbs up if the volume is good. I'm gonna hide the chapters. I don't want to see the chapters in case like they've chaptered every single take. So I'm gonna hide them on my end. Let's keep going.
Shout out to the professor and Osbers Gaming for supporting.
Wait, I think I've seen. Turn it up a bit. We'll do. Let's get the volume right. Let's get the volume. Okay, I've got Albert as maxed as I can get her. I've got her as high as possible. As high as possible. Look, absolute maximum on my end and yours. Let me see. Hang on. Oh, hang on. I got one more chance. What about this? Let's try again. One more time. Let's get it right before we start.
It's gone on to become a cult classic.
That's about as loud as I can get it, games. It's about as loud as I can get it. Albert, what are you doing? What are you doing, Albert? It's as loud as I can get it. Let's start
Shout out to the professor and Osbers Gaming for supporting me at level 3 or higher on Patreon. Hey everyone!
Hello!
I'm Albert Boris. Mario Kart Double Dash is probably one of the most famous and revered Mario Kart games in existence. Released all the way back in November 2003, this...
I was 9 years old when this game came out. How old were you guys? I dare ask the question. Is Albert here as well? Oh, I didn't even see Albert in the chat. Hello, Albert. How you doing? Wait, where were they? Did I miss them? I must have missed them. You're what? Oh my god. I'm too old for this shit, man. I'm too old for this shit. Let's continue. Albert, please, just keep doing your thing. Please help me. Please help me.
A cult classic in the Mario Kart franchise, still holding a strong fan base and having a special place in.
I'm doing great. What about you? We're fantastic. We're gonna see just how good your takes are. You know what I'm hoping for, and I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that Albert Boris is a baby park enjoyer. I'm hoping so. Are you one of us, Albert? I'm excited.
Billions of hearts,
Let's see.
Mine. This is one of those games I always find myself coming back to.
Yeah,
Mario Kart Double Dash
same!
was one of the first
Hello,
Mario
Cherry.
games I ever came into contact with. And
Same!
one of the games that got me into the Mario franchise the most, up there with Mario Party 9. First finding out
Mario Party 9? Albert, Albert, I'm so sorry. I'm actually so sorry, Albert. I'm so sorry. You had to play Mario Party 9. I'm so sorry.
about it on YouTube and then subsequently playing stonks of it at a friend's house and loving it. It wasn't until many years after though that I actually got to own it, and I didn't have to dream about it at night. And it has since gone on to become one of my personal favorite Mario Kart games.
Mario Party 9 isn't that bad. Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him?
And after recently watching it.
Oh, Albert, yeah, now that you're here, could you tell me what pronouns you go by? Because the chat has been fucking with me. Some people have said she, some people have said them. I want to get them right. I don't want to spend this whole time using the wrong set and then feeling embarrassed afterwards and deleting the whole VOD. All right, I'd rather save myself the trouble.
Video from one
if
of
that's
my
all right.
biggest idols, Shafrillas Productions, where he ranked.
Shafrillas. Oh my god, hang on, hold up. Albert, Mr. or Mrs. or neither Albert. You're gonna have to hold on for a second. Just Cherry, you absolute beauty. 5 gifted musty memberships. Oh my god. Thank you so very much for that, Cherry. You didn't have to. You really didn't have to. But thank you so much. If you guys got gifted a subscription or membership by Cherry, be sure to say thank you. Be sure to say thank you. We all love Cherry, don't we, guys? We all love Cherry. Thank you so much for that. You're far too kind. I hope you've been doing all right, Cherry. I hope you've been doing all right. And it's she, her. You said Albert, right? Okay. I'll remember that. Leaving on the full. I'll leave the full stream on the channel for a bit, but I usually like private them so that I can edit them into a video later. I don't know. I always feel kind of shitty just leaving like a full video reaction on my channel because I'm just like, it kind of like undermines the purpose of watching their video. You know, like I always feel kind of bad. I'll leave it out for a bit, but I usually private them after a bit. So, but anyway, thank you again, Cherry. Thank you so much, and let's continue. I hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing good.
Course from this game, I thought.
Oh, Shafrilla, hang on, let's go back for a couple
favorite
seconds.
Mario Kart games, and after recently watching a video from one of my biggest idols, Shafrilla's Productions,
We love
where
Shafrillas,
he
don't we,
ranked
guys?
every single course from this game, I thought I wanted to do this too. So here it is, my ranking of every single.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Mario Kart
I'm ready.
Double Dash.
And one more gifted subscription membership. Thank you so much, Cherry. Again, 6 in a row. You're crazy. Thank you
I'll
so
be honest,
much.
out of all the Mario Kart games out there, Double Dash probably has the most consistent selection of courses in the entire series.
I would say
There
so.
are only 16.
It's a shame that only has
None of
16
them
though,
are
isn't it? Yeah.
really bad or downright awful. All of them are charming in their own right, and while yes, some tracks do end up becoming worse than the others, on the whole, there's not a single track I wouldn't mind playing. So with all that being said, let's
do it.
get this ranking started.
I am so ready. I want to know. I just want to know the baby. That's the main one. I'm excited. That's the dinner. That's the main course. I'm excited to see where she put Baby Park. Let's go.
Opening up this
No way. No, you're trolling. No, you're not getting. There's no way. This is a fake out, isn't it? Hang on.
I feel this is going to be a choice that's both going to be popular and controversial. Like I said, none of the tracks in this game are
Okay, hang on. Okay, all right. It might be down to the guys. It might be down to the jungle.
However, there's still 2 courses which I would
Wait, she's playing Baby Park music. Oh my god, I'm coping. Oh,
personally consider to
Hang
be
on.
below average. You know, like D-tier. And the weakest of them is Baby Park. This one is iconic for every reason imaginable. It prides itself on its simplicity. It's literally just an oval. There were
that's not
the
that's not the-
step further because it's literally just that. No high.
Yes, it's just an oval, but there's so much chaos. Like the Bowser shells, Albert. The Bowser shells. Fuck.
No off-road, literally nothing.
It-
And it's so short, but it was the first track in the series to have a different number of laps compared to the normal thing. In this case, it was 7. It's pretty bold to create a track like this. You'd think it's a race course set inside of an amusement park first, with
Calm down,
roller
Mr. Calm.
coasters and merry-go-rounds. Instead, that's just going on in the background. Or so we thought.
Oh, you can actually hit
The
that.
track is so small and cramped up, bananas are placed everywhere, and shells, especially Bowser shells, are flying all over the place.
Yeah!
Anyone can become a victim.
Yes.
So even if you
That's
don't
what makes it
feel the
fun!
physical roller coaster in this track, it still feels like riding on one. Ironically
Yeah!
enough, this track does live up to its name, even if you never even step foot on the amusement park. Now I like this track, but it's a bit boring. Most of the fun with this track is within the first few playthroughs, when you're absolutely mind-boggled that they actually made a track like this. And it
Yeah!
actually works.
But it's...
The chaos is fun, and it's
Yes!
arguably what makes this track so fun
Yes!
to begin with.
Yes!
But because it's so short, they had to make it 7 laps instead of 3, so
Yes!
it wouldn't go by as quickly. But even though it's still one of the shortest tracks to complete in Mario Kart history, clocking in at just 1 minute.
She's just stating facts. That's all she's doing. She's saying, yes, it's 7 laps. The chaos is fun. Why do you hate? I just want, like, I'm being blue-balled right now. You've put it in 60. I want to know, why do you hate it? Why do you hate it?
Seconds,
Tell me.
It somehow feels the exact opposite. When there's no Bowser shells flying around, it's got literally nothing. Literally nothing. It can get pretty boring, especially when you have to circle it 7 times with no notable changes happening in between.
Yeah, but why would you? But Albert, no, you're not supposed. Albert, you're not supposed to play it like that. Oh, guys, I get it. I get it. Albert used to play the track on her own, so she doesn't know that, like, you can play. It makes so much sense. Oh, it makes so much sense. Guys, we get it. We get it, guys. We get it. Albert, as a kid, she spent a lot of time playing this on her own, so she never got to experience, like, the bout. Okay, I get it. All right, we're chill now. We're chill. We're homies again.
Park is a pretty conflicting track for me. A very basic concept, which is at best lifted by the game's crazy mechanics and items. Unironically, I can't say I'd rather play on this track than any other in the game, and so it will stay in last place on my ranking.
Last place. Last place. Lord have mercy on my soul. That is rough. That is rough. Sherbet, and you're gonna tell me the next one's Sherbetland, Albert? Oh no.
Other track I'm
Okay, I need to know, who is it? Who's agreeing with Albert here, and who's on my side? Who's on the correct side of history, and who's on the L side of history? Who is it? I need to know. This is my only unpopular opinion. No, that won't be your only unpopular opinion. Ooh, I'm both curious and disgusted at the same time, and I can't wait to watch more. What is it? So what do we think, guys? Yay or nay? What do you think of the take? Okay, it's still just an oval box, a shit track, gotta be honest. Yeah, but it's the chaos you make with the track that makes it fun. Yeah, of course, when Albert here, who obviously as a kid she used to play it, like, on her own, just going around playing time trials, of course it's gonna be boring. Yeah, I understand about that. But, like, you Bowser shells, fireballs, bombs, lamp oil, rope. You want it? Play Baby Park. It's simple. It's very, very simple. As a course itself, Baby Park's at least a C, but with the Chaos, easy B. Maybe Wind Park, at least a low A. I didn't play Double Dash. Oh my god. I don't agree. It's really, really fun. That's what I'm saying. But there's more. There's more to be had. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. Let's continue.
It will would be Sherbet's Land.
So, from the top.
Another track I'm personally not too fond of would be Sherbet's Land. This is pretty unanimously agreed to be one of the most frustrating Mario Kart Double Dash courses, and I don't disagree at all. Let me ask you.
You know, Albert, we're back.
When you think about this game, some will say 2 people per cart, double item boxes, special items, but for me, it's the controls. My goodness, are they slippery. Tilting the control stick in any direction will result in your cart going absolutely
yeah,
making a lot of the tracks more difficult than they'd normally be.
Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. But this is my childhood, so you can't be mean to it, okay, Albert? You're not allowed to be mean to it.
So what
I could be mean to all of your childhoods, but you can't be mean to mine.
Happens when you take that and add additional ice physics? You get Sherbet's Land. Whenever I played the All Cup Tour as a kid in order to 100% beat the game, I always dreaded having to play on this track because I knew I would lose on this one.
Do you know what I used to do? Do you know actually what I used to do? I think,
Sherbet's Land.
So the AI, if you guys did Mario Kart Double Dash tips and tricks with your boy Sir Musty, the AI will always bump into this icicle thing. Well, not always. Sometimes they skip it because for some reason you're in 5th place and they haven't hit it. Generally speaking, the AI tends to hit this first one. So this first one would always trick me up. So if you're in 2nd on this first lap, 9 times out of 10 they will generally hit this one and it'll move out of the way for you, and then that ending bit's really easy. So.
Whenever
That's a hot tip, you know.
Tour as a kid in order to 100% beat the game, I always dreaded having to play on this track because I knew I would lose on this one due to the uncontrollable.
I love the music. The music's.
Shy Guys, which were
it's alright, I guess.
Or worst of all, the freezes, which when hit on impact, not only immobilized you, but could in the worst case scenario even change.
the double freeze? Hang on. Can I see that? Get the one? Hang on, one, and then immediately the double freeze. Jesus. Alba was not having a good time on this, was she? Jesus Christ.
Worst case scenario, even change your cart's direction. It was an absolute travesty.
The third threes. You know what, that's fair. You know what, that's fair. That's fair.
Better at this game, it's become
I personally would have accepted. I hate this because it's the ice track, and you would have just moved on. But you know what? That's fair.
less of a
That's
problem.
fair.
But even then, I tend to find myself mildly irritated playing this track.
I think what
The
you're doing.
atmosphere is okay.
Oh, baby, a
nothing
triple.
but the jolly holiday vibe, but even then, I never really found myself enjoying it all that much.
The off-track banana, the freeze again.
Those are the only two below
Bro,
average
this game is
tracks.
slippery as hell, man. Shoosh.
Now, the opening course, Luigi Circuit, was actually surprisingly good. Yeah, it's not often that the first course in a Mario Kart game.
Thank you,
is
Saul. Saul coming in clutch. Saul coming in clutch. With two fat dollars facts on Sherbetland. Well, facts in is good or is it bad? I don't know, man. In fact, it's mid. It's mid, guys. If there's any Sherbetland enjoyers in the chat, you guys are on ice watch.
just
You guys are
simply
frozen over.
on some sunny overworld without any notable aesthetics or gameplay features. Their main purpose is just to be a simple tutorial track. Now,
Yeah.
ironically enough,
Alba
Luigi
gets
Circuit does fill in on all of those boring remarks, including on having a rather basic figure 8 design, with one key exception.
The fact that you can hit oncoming cars. You're gonna say that, right, Albert?
These roads are interconnected. with
Yeah.
bump into drivers coming in from the opposite direction. This one change adds so many new elements.
It
with
does.
throw a shell at last place just because you can.
True.
Baby Park, where that's technically also possible due to its length, Luigi Circuit also has a less mundane layout, with boost panels, a chain jump, and this one random alternate route. It's a bit astounding how much it's
Even when we're not talking about Baby Park, she still slanders Baby Park.
succeeds
Unfucking
at being
believable.
a decent track.
Unfucking
It's literally
believable.
just a figure 8. Really, if the setting was more unique than just a typical overworld circuit, it could have been even higher on this list. Like Mario Circuit. Yeah, it turns out Mario Kart Double Dash really knocked it out of the park with the circuit tracks, in contrast to most entries in the series. I was debating on whether I preferred this or Luigi Circuit, but in the end, this is what I chose. Mario Circuits are typically a
they're
little bit
both chill,
different than
really.
the average opening circuit, and have a slightly more nature-based setting, and that couldn't be truer said for GCN's Mario Circuit. It's one of the more difficult Mario Circuit tracks in the series.
I think someone said, what's the worst Bowser cast from the series? 7 or Super not
Sharper
included?
turns than usual and more hazards. The ending section with all of the bumps can be especially frustrating.
I would say what, GBA Bowser Castle 2 is probably my least favorite, just off the top of my head, I would say.
A lot of these tracks are known for, with all of the greenery and trees, and even the entire second half of the track being set on a dirt path. It also helps that the circuit music.
I would say one thing I quite like about this rendition, not so much the Wii version, because in the Wii you get better control. The ending jump, I don't know if Albert's going to mention it.
Favorites, having a bit of a happy-go-lucky vibe to it, in contrast to some of the other circuit themes that feel more.
Like the ending jump, like, you know, there's like those two piranha plants that will chomp you. So because you can't really change your direction mid-air, when you get those two chomps chomping it, you have to make sure you drive right in the middle. Because if you drive even slightly to the side, one of the chomps will get you.
Or like you're just playing a regular.
It's a little bit of a tech you have to master.
It's a bit more Mario-ish. Overall, it's a really good Mario circuit. However, it's still a bit simple, and although it's got a
Yeah.
difficult layout, it's not as unique as Luigi circuits, so it's only slightly better thanks to everything else this track is going for.
Don't disagree. Don't disagree. I'm waiting, Albert. I'm waiting for the big disagreements.
Okay, this is gonna be slightly controversial.
Oh, hang on. I will be less controversial. Let's find out. Let's find out. Okay, Albert, I'm awake. Let's go. I'm
In
woke.
12th place, we have...
I hear the music. There's no way, Albert. There's no way my homie Albert, who I've only just found out about yesterday, would put Mushroom City down. There's no way. I'm hearing the Mushroom City. I'm thinking it's Mushroom Bridge, right? Not Mushroom City. Even Mushroom Bridge would be a wild shout. But there's no way you do City.
The Mushroom City. Okay guys, this is not a bad track. I was surprised I ended...
Why is it in 12 then? Why is it in 12? Explain yourself. Explain yourself right now. What the hell? Why is it the 12th best track in the game? This is the 12th best track in...
up putting it
Explain-
solo as well, because I remember all of...
You don't remember that bit?
Guys, this is not a bad track. I was surprised I ended up putting...
You don't remember the fact that you could drive into this little parking garage and like wipe out completely and Lakitu has to save you? You don't remember that part? That really fun part?
low as well, because I remember always really liking it.
Oh,
But when I played it again for this video, yeah, it's not that amazing, unfortunately.
it's good. Yeah, I mean, it's not fucking S tier, but like, it's definitely the best of a good bunch in this game, and it deserves to be remade. I want to see what they do. But modern.
On one hand, the atmosphere.
Yeah, just to clarify, that means Dry Desert is above Mushroom City. This is insanity.
Absolutely.
This is insanity.
No other track, not even the city courses in Mario Kart Tour, captures the city feel as well as this one. Like,
Yeah?
it's got everything, from traffic, the 90-degree sudden turns, the highways, and more. You can even pick which way to go at times. Like
Yeah, that's what makes it really cool. I like that.
in a relaxing
And I would love to see what they could do with it in like modern day Mario Kart. Like, does one section have does one side have a flying section? Does the other side have an anti-grav section? They could do so much with this track.
night setting, and you have one of the most immersive Mario Kart courses ever made. But to be completely
Yeah, this is
honest, that's the
insane.
most fluid.
This is insane, Albert.
A lot of this track just consists of long straightaways that seem to go on forever. No matter which path you pick, navigating this track can also be a bit confusing at times. I remember when I first played this course, I had no idea where I was supposed to go.
Albert, the arrows, Albert, no, Albert, come, there's like, there's like arrows over Albert, no, Albert, no, what are you doing, Albert? I even saw it at the very beginning. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the very beginning of when she showed the clip, she was nearly gonna drive back into the loop again, but then.
Since the sign
Oh, but no.
itself and every turn look the same.
No, you no, it's there. Like, you gotta, like, oh, come on.
Charm, but it does admittedly make it slightly frustrating at times, even nowadays when I know the route. Now remember, I don't dislike this course, just because...
As far as I have no issues with the arrows in the new Mario Kart Tour City courses. I don't know. Do you know what, guys? We figured it out. So because you have no issues with the arrows in the new Tour City courses, we've confirmed it, guys. We've confirmed it from the source herself. She's trolling. So guys, put your pitchforks away. She was just trolling us. She was only pretending to drive the wrong way.
At 12th place, it doesn't degrade the quality of the track. In fact, even if it's pretty low, I'd still put it in B tier. But there is another similar track in this game later on this list, which does all of this much better.
B tier's still a little low, if you ask me, but sure. I think the worst, like, what? So not only is Dry Desert higher than this, but also you'd put Bridge over City? When most people would put City over Bridge? That's crazy.
Moving on. Yoshi Circuit is, in my opinion, the best of the game's 3 circuit tracks. Which admittedly isn't saying too much, however, since they're all pretty decent and equal in quality. As far as circuit courses go, this has got to be one of the most difficult ones in the entire series. And that's not surprising, since when you look at
Shaped
the
like a Yoshi.
map of it, it's literally in the shape of a Yoshi.
Yes, she mentioned it. It's shaped like a Yoshi. Yes, I've been saying this for years. Every single time I told someone Yoshi Circuit shaped than Yoshi, they'd be like, no, Mister, you're lying. Mister, you're trolling. Mister, you're full of shit. I'm glad Albert Boris could confirm for us. I'll just keep playing the video.
By default,
It's getting funny.
Twistier. It's a risky concept, but it works surprisingly well as a racetrack, and it's quite astonishing how they work.
Oh my god! Wait, hang on! I didn't know that could happen! I didn't even know that could happen! Wait, so the chomps they're gonna chomp you? When you're off track already?
Racetrack, and it's quite
That's just mean!
astonishing how they were able to use so many different assets to both give it the illusion of looking like
That's
a
so
real
mean!
above, but while racing, still like a regular. It's
Jesus!
a really fun track to drive around on and make sharp cuts.
That's unbelievable! You know what, actually? I was gonna say 11th is a low shout, but... Fair. You know what, fair.
You need shortcuts, one of which unfortunately hasn't seen a return since Mario Kart.
True. I'm annoyed about that too.
Tunnel.
You know what? Albert gets it. Albert gets the tunnel. You know what? I miss that tunnel. I spend every day of my life weeping that this tunnel is gone. I'm glad somebody's finally talking about it.
That said, I feel like Yoshi Circuit had some wasted potential. Sure, it's in the shape of Yoshi, but couldn't we perhaps maybe have had a few more references and visual differences from the other circuit courses so that it actually felt like Yoshi?
Yeah, but Albert, Yoshi Copter. Oh, you're zoomed in on it. Oh my god, you're about to reference it.
I mean, sure, you got the Yoshi copter flying around, but...
Yeah, what else do you need?
Perhaps add some Yoshi-exclusive enemies roaming around the track. Maybe
No,
an aesthetic
Yoshi
representative
Copter.
of the original Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi Copter, what more do you need?
We already have that now, but it's still a...
You just can't impress. You just can't impress some people, can you? We got Yoshi Copter. What more do you need? What more do you need? Oh, you should have thrown in like a Shy Guy. You should have thrown in like the fucking that first boss from Yoshi's Island. You should have thrown in the chain chomps that fall from the sky in like Yoshi's Island. You should have thrown in Monty Mole. You should have thrown in back. Oh, what else do you need, huh? What else do you need? Society is just everyone is just take. Is Yoshi Copter not enough for the modern generation? You Zoomers are cooked.
Really
I can't
fun,
believe
just
this.
one with slightly missed potential.
Anyway,
Okay,
what's
You
next?
thought Mushroom City only being at 12th place was a bold move?
Yeah, that was. What are you doing, Albert?
Now
You're
prepare
killing me.
yourself to hear me gush about the dry desert.
Gosh. I think I need a drink before this one, guys. Okay. All right, guys. Remember, Musty, this is someone's opinion. You know, we have to go into it with an open mind. You know, maybe she could say the one thing that would change your mind. Maybe she could, Musty. Maybe she could. You know, you just never. You know what? Let's go in with an open mind, and let's see if Albert changes my mind.
Which will open up the top 10 of this list. So, this is one of the most despised Mario Kart courses of all time.
I'm glad you acknowledged that.
I honestly don't understand why, because this track feels so alive, honestly. Deserts are a hostile
It's a desert. No, that's it. You thought I'd say something else. No, that's it. That's it, really.
environment, and this particular desert track probably gives the best impression of it. You've got intense tornadoes hurtling your way, a sinkhole with a piranha plant lurking on you, Pokies randomly becoming gates and spawning double item boxes, and who can forget the ever so dangerous music that keeps you on your toes. I know I'm probably alone in sharing this sentiment, but honestly, this is one of the Mario Kart Double Dash courses where I feel the most immersed into the environment I'm driving in. I mean, sure, it's
Can you just run that by me one more time, Albert?
on your toes. I know I'm probably, and who can forget the ever so dangerous music that
Dangerous music. Hang on, let me just. I'm waiting for the part where like the track jumps at me with a knife, because I mean that would be dangerous. If like all of a sudden Dry does like, give me your money, give me your. I probably shouldn't. YouTube's probably gonna give me your money, give me your money. If it was that, then fair enough. But like all I want to do is just like move my head in a very rhythmic pattern. Not exactly getting dangerous vibes from this album, if I do say so myself. Where were we? Where were we, actually? Oh, here we are.
keeps you on your toes. I know I'm probably alone in sharing this sentiment, but honestly, this is one of the Mario Kart Double Dash courses where I feel the most immersed into the environment I'm driving in. I mean, sure, it's not the most...
I mean, I suppose when you're looking at this from the lens of immersion, I suppose you're not necessarily wrong, but am I genuinely supposed to be immersed in a Mario Kart game? Like, is it... I like it when they have a theme and they stick to it, but I wouldn't say immersion is the word I use when I'm talking about Mario Kart. I just want, like, a track that's fun conceptually and designed very, very well. Like Mushroom Gorge. Is Mushroom Gorge immersive? Not particularly, but you're in a field with mushrooms that make you spring very, very high, and I just think that just hits my dopamine in the right way. So I suppose if you're looking at this from immersion, I would say, yeah, this very convincingly looks like a harsh and desolate desert. Is it fun to race on? Fuck no. So I suppose you're not wrong if you're looking at it from that perspective, but I think I'm not alone in saying that I don't really think scale it from that sort of thinking. So I don't know. I guess we're just looking at it from different trains of thought. To be fair, hang on. Yoshi Desert, however, wins the achievement of most dangerous desert theme in Mario Kart. Yoshi Desert, I would say it's dangerously catchy. That's for damn sure. I've got this at max volume, by the way, so I think Albert's just got it on. Yeah, I've got it at max volume. This is as high as I can get it. This is as high as I can get it, gamers, unfortunately. Jojo Desert is very fun to race on. The shortcuts are amazing. It's not though. Like if I'm ranking every desert course, future video maybe, I don't think this is the worst. but the desert phobia is strong here. I live in the fucking grey, humid England, alright? I don't know nothing about deserts.
Complex course ever, and sometimes
Like, I would say Desert Hills maybe is the worst? I don't know.
it's slightly long, but it's a moderately difficult track to manage to include all of these hostile elements while still making it feel natural.
Getting hit twice there?
And then there's their remake in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and to be honest, the fact that there's an oasis there is the least of its problems, since it took out almost everything that made this version feel so alive. If I had to give the original flag for something, however, I guess it's kind of visually uninteresting, like a bit basic, but really that's it. All in all, it's a really underrated course, which...
I think, do you know what, actually? I do have to give Albert this. She actually used the word underrated correctly. That word has been criminally abused, right? But when she says underrated here, she's actually right. As in, people tend not to rate this track. And yeah, she's right. People tend not to rate this track. So do you know what? I will give you +7 points for the correct use of the word underrated. The amount of times I've seen people go, man, do you know what's underrated? Maple Treeway. So underrated. But you know what? You're actually right. This is an underrated stage, and you rating it highly is definitely something not a lot of people do. And I unfortunately can't agree with you. Even if we're looking at it through the lens of immersion is just something I don't really see much value to in a game like Mario Kart. So I just don't think I can agree with you on that front, really. The Desert One and Super Mario Bros. Wonder is my most anticipated one. Well, we'll have to see about that, won't we? What's the most... guys, it's just underrated, isn't it? It's so underrated. So underrated, guys. I see it all the time. Especially even in my own Discord is fucking guilty of this shit. Every time someone types underrated, I'm just like, just let it go, Musty. Just let it go. They're like 7 years old, okay? The best game they've ever played is like... Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, okay? Like, you're too old for this. You're too old for this.
Quite frankly, deserves more love. Peach Beach is, in the shortest way I can summarize it, the most simple track ever with the most ambitious elements. Or well, there is another track in the game just like this that's even better, which we'll get to soon. On the surface, it's just a really pleasant track that gives you the feel of being on a relaxing summer vacation in a tropical land. Partly thanks to the music, but also because of all the sections that are really charming visually, whether it's the town, the beach, or even this little harbor. Then again, it is also directly based off of Super Mario Sunshine.
The worst 3D Mario ever made. That's what Albert's gonna say next, right?
Only one of my absolutely favorite
Oh,
movies.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god! I feel like we're now. I think like do you know what? Like I think I've like skimmed some of Albert's videos, and I think Albert does this thing where like she has like a red character that's like the anti-Albert. I feel like I'm just the real life anti-Albert because like I was really hoping. I have not. I wish this was scripted. I wish I pre-watched this and I wrote that down as a joke because it'd make this much less funnier for me. I feel like I am the anti-Albert. You know, I have to ask Albert the important questions. Do you prefer smooth peanut butter or crunchy peanut butter? Do you prefer tea or do you prefer coffee? And where were you the night of September 11th, 2001? I think I need to be the negative Albert. I think that's what I need to start doing. So Albert, if you want to hire me, my rates are very generous. I will say so. Let's continue.
It shouldn't be surprising that I feel the way I do. It's really relaxing, but they also crammed so many elements into the track that despite it being a simple layout, it feels surprisingly alive, just like with Dry Desert. Like the beach section has these tides that will rise and sink, always forcing you to rethink which pathway is the best to take, which only
It's quite nice. I like it.
The absolutely kingly Cataquack.
The
And
Cataquacks.
then the developers even added a bunch of useless stuff they totally didn't need to, but they did it, and it makes the track feel even more.
I wish the Cataquacks need to come back as like a gimmick in another track, right? I feel like they need to, because they were just so good, weren't they?
Like, there's this pipe detour you can take, whose only purpose is awarding you a double item box. And even though it's way slower than the normal route, I always find myself taking it just because why not?
It's just fun,
you
isn't
can
it?
even circle around this fountain for no particular reason. This track is just really charming.
You get a double.
We're only
You get a
getting
double
better
from
from
that.
now on. Now looking back, this version of Bowser's Castle isn't really the most ambitious one when you put it next to the 17 other Bowser castles in the series.
Is it actually 17, or did you just make up a number? Because I'd be curious to know. Is there actually 17 Bowser castles? Jesus.
This series of tracks is oversaturated, but on the other hand, it was definitely the most important one when it first came out. Mario Kart Double Dash was in many ways one of the most revolutionary installments in the series.
Where do we rate this Bowser Castle? This has got to be top 3, right? Top 3 Bowser Castles? Come on, right? This is a good one. This is a good one, right?
A lot of its gimmicks were forgotten in future games, but some of them were not, like double item boxes, customizable vehicles, or even course archetypes.
Like without thinking about it too much, I would say GameCube one is top 3, right? Top 5 definitely. Top 3 probably. Top 2? I don't know, maybe. I'd have to think about it. I haven't really thought about it.
Mario Kart Double Dash was even the first game where Bowser's Castle was exclusively the third track of the Special Cup. Sure, this version may not be as intense or difficult as some of its successors, but despite that, I feel like this one is one of the best atmospheres out of any Bowser Castle, with
Yeah,
absolutely
definitely.
haunting music. It's more ominous than chaotic, which translates well with this track's rather easy design. You got
She also thinks GBA Rainbow Road is top 2 above Wii. Do you know what, Albert? Fucking always loved Albert. Fucking always loved Albert. Me and Albert are homies.
gotta give this track some respect for what it does with what little it has. And overall, it's a really good course and respectable Bowser Castle track. Out of the 2 highway courses in Mario Kart Double Dash, I think Mushroom Bridge is far
Really?
superior to Mushroom City. Let's see how many people agree with that statement.
How many people agree with that? Let's just poll the chat real quick. Yay or nay? Yay or nay? If City is Bridge better than City? Yes for Bridge, no for City. Is it a yay or is it a nay? What is it gonna be? A midge nay? Yay or nay? I need to know. Are they nays higher than the yays or the yays higher than the yays? I'm seeing a lot of nays. I'm seeing a lot of whips and nay-nays. Yeah, that's what I thought, really.
I can totally understand why.
So Albert's right when she says that, at least.
Since it's arguably more difficult and perfectly captures the feeling it's going for. But to be honest, Mushroom Bridge is, in my opinion, just a lot more well-rounded and well-designed for a Mario Kart track. Despite being a lot easier, shorter, and thematically more generic, it still manages to include a more interesting gameplay.
Hang on, Super Right, $2 for this hot take. A steaming $2. GCM Bowser Castle was overrated at most. CT. Again, I will give Super Raul a down thumbs up for the wrong use of overrated. Overrated implies people talk about it too much. So, and I've not seen anyone and even their mum talk about this. So, do you know what? A thumbs down from me. A thumbs down for both the take and the wrong use of overrated. I'm gonna start policing the use of that word now. But thank you for that. I appreciate that. Appreciate it too.
No other track in this game has as heavy emphasis on shortcuts or alternate routes as this one. We all know about the legendary bridge, which allows you to drive on the narrow railings of it with boost panels.
Yeah, but see, I think Albert, you basically did the thing that everyone does when they use a shortcut. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this shortcut as like an icon. As an actual like shortcut, I think this is awful. Because as you've just demonstrated, as the average, imagine like you're not a fucking world beater when it comes to Mario Kart Double Dash. Neither am I, right? We're both average at the game, right? At most. So generally, this is what the average person does when they try this shortcut. They'll drive up it for a bit. They'll like overcorrect because they're going too much left, so they overcorrect right, and then they fall off. And then I think if you do that, it's just slower than driving the track normally. So while I think it's a cool shortcut in principle, like I think it's cool. Like driving on top of like the actual bridge part of a bridge, like the over arc bit, that's really really cool. But as a like shortcut itself, is it design wise? I don't think you can use that as like an element to raise Mushroom Bridge, if you ask me personally. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I give City a bit more of a leg up, because I think at least City's shortcuts work.
It's still so fun trying to challenge yourself, and there's more to it than that.
And hello, Xander. First stream I've been to. Watch it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Xander.
And I'm not just talking about that off-road cliff short.
And someone said it's barely even faster if you do it right as well. So even if you were to do it, it's just not even that good.
Peach, there's a detour that leads to Warpipe, which will give you a double item box.
I like that.
Again, it doesn't need to be there, but the fact that it's there just makes the track feel more interesting.
It does. You're
And
right.
then you
You're
can
right.
also drive on the pavement besides the road on some sections, which is completely detrimental to winning. Why is it there? I don't know, but it sure makes.
Sometimes it can be a nice bit to like get away from all the action. So if you're like in the middle of the fray. But yeah, more often than not, it doesn't need to be there. But it's nice that it's there, right? It's nice that it's there.
The track feel a bit more interesting to play compared to the more straightforward Mushroom City, which is still really good, but feels a bit less suited for a Mario Kart track. Moving on. Waluigi Stadium is an instant classic. It doesn't matter which version of the track you're talking about. It's always been amazing. I still remember
Absolute
playing this for the
absolute W.
first time when I got my
W Albert, that's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
A Waluigi Stadium enjoyer. Let's go. Let's go. Where are the haters? Where are the haters? Gone.
Especially with all the cheers from the audience.
Absolute-
Dazzling yet scary red sunset.
Absolute masterclass of a track.
Elements like these dancing signs. I remember thinking this was the perfect ending course to Mario Kart Wii. Back when I didn't know there were unlockable cups beyond the Banana Cup. The GameCube variant of this track is pretty much the same course. The main difference is that the track
Waluigi Stadium has hated, but it has loads of haters. Trust me, the haters are out there. The haters are out there, and trust me, I've seen them. I've seen them. I've seen them with my own eyes. I
By
have.
the way, it didn't even have the half pipes yet. But even without those changes, I still consider Waluigi Stadium to be a great track, because it still has everything else I mentioned. And in some ways, the straightaway is actually better.
Although if I'm going to nitpick a bit, Albert, I have noticed using my handy-dandy headphone device, you are playing the 8th rendition in the background. You're doing a Double Dash review. You should play the GameCube version. The GameCube version of Waluigi Stadium slaps. Come on. You should play that version while you're really, nitpick aside. Both versions are great, though, so
Better without half
it
pipes.
quite literally is a
It's
nitpick.
now avoiding all of the hazards that are constantly moving around. It's always been an epic track with
Waluigi Pinball gotta be the most underrated. Shut up, Sherry. Thank you so much for the 2. It's underrated, right, guys? W if true.
navigated through a dangerous dirt bike arena with a crowd that cheers
Very underrated.
with determination. Like, if this was the final track of the game, I wouldn't entirely mind it, since it does kind of fit due to everything I mentioned, including the sunset representing the end. It is, simply put, a really great track.
It is
From
great.
now on, we'll be getting to the really amazing courses on this ranking.
I mean, you meant that's also amazing, and now you're gonna get to the other amazing. That's what you meant to say, right? That's what you meant to say. A hot take. I think the Wii version is better than the Switch version. I think they're both great. I wouldn't. I think they're both going for different things, or similar but different things. I think they're both fantastic. I don't know, really. I haven't really thought about it that
But
much.
despite some of my controversial placements on this ranking, you can all relax knowing that I still put the biggest fan favorite from this game, DK Mountain, in the top 5.
How's it going, everyone? It's
Who's this guy?
Hold up, who invited you?
Ryder Car DX? What are you doing in my video? Hey, I was only told this would be Albert. Oh, there's too many characters in the Albert cinematic universe. I can't believe this.
My ranking.
Albert, I am very disappointed that you're only putting DK Mountain at number 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what, right? I don't know who this... I've only just met this Ryder guy now. Do you know what? He's based only number 5?
Seriously. It's
True.
time for me to give this track some justice.
True.
DK Mountain is, simply put, an amazing track. Anyone who's played it knows exactly why it's
Yeah.
one of the most deservingly loved
I mean, I wonder why it's the best track. I wonder why it's the best track in the game, guys.
An amazing track. Anyone who's played it knows exactly
Should we 0.25 times speed Wario's wiggling ass? Is that what you're trying to like hypnotize us?
why it's one of the most deservingly loved courses in not just Mario Kart Double Dash, but even the entire
The jiggle physics on that,
the
zam!
cannon, and watch as the angry volcano came closer and closer.
And he plays it again. He loops it twice. Loop it a third time. Loop it a third. Come on, loop it a third. Damn it.
And then having to make your way
Damn it.
around while avoiding boulders and doing sharp turns. But it is one that works so incredibly well. Partly thanks to the
Okay. Well, what is going on in the chat? I'm seeing people saying, "Hang on, what's all this then? What's all this then? Doxing? You guys talking about doxing? Hey, guys, we're doing a Mario Kart fucking tier list review, okay? Stop talking about doxing. Jesus Christmas. Behave yourselves. The lot of you.
adventurous
I'm turning this whole fucking stream around.
track to see with
Jesus
the Mario
Christmas.
Kart Deluxe Booster Course Pass.
Oh, well, I guess you just summed up my entire opinion on the track. Wait a minute, it's obviously gonna be Dino Jungle that returns.
Oh, really?
And speaking of which, as much as I like DK Mountain, I do slightly
No.
prefer its more underrated counterpart in the Special Cup.
Again, I will give you a W. You have used the correct use of the word underrated. The correct use of the word underrated, yes. Over DK Mountain? Okay. My mind is open. I'm ready to be convinced.
Dino Jungle. While DK Mountain is great and all,
I don't think you're gonna, if I'm being honest, Albert. I don't think you're gonna, but let's see.
I think Dino Jungle is simply a more interesting track to play on. Yeah, DK Mountain, while an epic journey...
I don't know. You just showed me like Wario's ass for like fucking a whole minute. Like I don't know about that. I don't know if you're gonna convince me, man.
It doesn't really have much more going on than that. So. This track, on the other hand, is a
Like this track has like Birdo Paratrooper. I don't know, man. You kind of use the wrong cards if you wanted to convince me. I'm just saying.
Random in its concept, racing in a prehistoric jungle. It's a more difficult track than DK Mountain, as you have to avoid getting stomped by a dinosaur, making sure to not get hit by geysers, and drive on longer and even more narrow bridges. This section has 3 of them, and they're all way harder to not fall off of than the ones straight on in DK Mountain.
Just to clarify, I do actually love DK. No, I won't say love, but I do think Dino Dino Jungle is a well-designed map. I just don't think it's better than DK Mountain. I think that's where my point of contention is here. I think Dino Dino Jungle gets a bit more stick than I would say than it deserves. I see some people generally tend to not rate this highly enough. I think this is a solid track. I genuinely do. It's boring. I don't know if I'd say. I think it does its theme and it does it well. I want to say it's boring.
Difficult and interesting take on the jungle setting scene in the former track.
Like you have this. Okay, so like think about it. Like you say boring, but like you have this opening bit. You have this opening bit where like you gotta navigate between the dino's feet to get an item. Then you have the bridge where you can choose the wider bridge that will give you a double, or the thinner bridge that will make you faster, or the secret bonus bridge that will make you faster and give you an item. And then you can either choose there's a shortcut with the mushroom, the geysers as well that you have to avoid, and then like you got the big dinosaur head you got to avoid in this big bridge up here. I think you're constantly doing interesting things if I do say so myself.
On the jungle setting scene in the former track.
So I think it's interesting enough.
Really cool shortcuts. And for these reasons,
I just don't think it's better than DK Mountain. I'd switch these two. At least.
Are falling boulders. And I'm eagerly awaiting Dino Dino Jungle's return in Wave 5 or 6 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Boosted Course Pass.
If it happens, Albert, if it's this over DK Mountain, I'm just saying, create a Clash 3. Put your gloves on.
You mean
In a legally sanctioned fight for charity, I will in fact hit a woman. I will do that.
DK Mountain?
No, Dino Dino Jungle. Come on, I predicted DS Mario Circuit. Please let me continue my streak.
No.
Obviously gonna be DK Mountain.
Oh, it's the red guy.
Oh, come on, not my evil twin brother as well.
The evil twin brother is actually played by me, by the way. Me and Albert have reached an agreement. It's actually played by me now.
You notice how awkwardly scaled up it is in Mario Kart Tour? It's almost like they created it with the DLC in mind.
Let's just continue.
I feel like this guy's one line away from saying, "What's the deal with airline food?"
It's almost like they created it with the DLC in mind.
That's what I'm saying.
The top 3 of my ranking now.
Top 3.
If there is anything I enjoy more than YouTube videos for all of you, it would have to be one thing. Traveling abroad, particularly by ferry. It's something I've almost always done every year since I was very young. And so
He's a Daisy... Sorry, my bad. She's a Daisy Circuit truther. Oh. Oh, no. Am I on the wrong side of history? Chat, am I on the wrong side of history? You just need to tell me. Just let me know now, chat. Am I correct or am I wrong? Like, I'll happily just, like, accept that I am the minority. I've been a minority my whole life. I can accept this as a minority. Did I say Daisy Circuit again instead of Daisy Cruiser? I don't know. I guess. Ironically, since I've since switched to predicting DK Mountain. You saw it here first, games. You saw it here first. Albert Boris is one of us. Yes. Yes. Daisy Cruiser though. Casey Deruza. True.
It's become
Daisy
such a
Loser.
part of my childhood that any thought of cruise ferries makes my mind happy. Like when I played Daisy Cruise.
I feel like the Titanic has done irrevocable damage to anybody trying to do a cruise, myself included. The idea of getting stranded out in sea just scares me to submission, and I will never take a cruise. Maybe in the future when I yearn for the sweet release of death. But for now, cruises, I'm okay. That's why I keep saying circuit instead of cruiser, by the way, because I'm scared to death of the ocean, as we all are.
My, is it simply impossible to not feel joy when playing it. Take the summer vacation vibes I mentioned from
Oh no.
except now it's on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, and it feels so much more unique. I love going
you're
through
not.
all the different decks.
Thanks for the two, Sol.
Whether it's the relaxing sun deck, avoiding the pool, dodging the tables.
Although I will say, this was always my favorite part as a kid.
Different decks of the ship.
Hitting the lifesaver thingies, the donut thingamajigs. That was always my favorite part about this track, and that's kind of it. I think it's not in the 8 Deluxe version, is it?
Sun deck,
Very
avoiding the
unfortunate.
pool, dodging the tables that are constantly moving, to accidentally falling down to a basement. Yeah, this track goes all out on the luxury cruise theme, and it's pretty amazing how they were able to design a track around that. Mario Kart courses are usually at their best
They're
when
not.
it's an out-of-the-blue idea, and it shows in this track. They incorporated so many elements of such a charming setting, and the execution of it all is simply put...
Yeah, but counterpoint, Albert, where's Yoshicopter? Argument 1.
kingly. You know what? Forget N64 Rainbow Road for a second.
Okay. Done.
Forget Wii Rainbow Road.
Okay. I can't do that, boss. I can't do that.
In fact, even forget about 3DS Rainbow Road.
Can't do that neither, boss.
Because Mario Kart Double Dash's take on this track deserves so much more attention than
No, it doesn't.
it's currently receiving.
Nope.
The Rainbow Roads are usually a heated topic, since they're usually the final track you play in any Mario Kart
Yeah.
game. They tend to be three things. Very difficult, very epic, and very beautiful. And Mario Kart Double Dash's version of Rainbow Road might just be one of the absolute best ones of all time. No other course is ever...
I don't necessarily disagree that it doesn't... Because I think Albert's criteria for a Rainbow Road is the same as mine. It has to look good, it has to be fucking difficult, essentially. I just think this track does a whole load of nothing. This bit in particular is like the most guilty of it. What the fuck are you doing on this bit? Except try, like, oh, you're trying to stay on the course. Yeah, but what happens when you get good at the game? And what happens? What happens? Nothing. Oh, there's must be the shooting stars. Sometimes you get a star. That's not. What is that? Is that really your best argument? Hypothetical version of a chat member I've just constructed in my head. Is that your best argument? Don't fuck. Get out of here.
felt so beautiful.
In 7, you drive on the fucking moon. In Wii, you drive for a fucking beautiful galaxy-inspired landscape. In this, you just fucking... What are you doing here? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, am I on the wrong side? Like, okay, what's the take? Hang on, I'm actually going to poll this one. Hang on, let's see. GCN Rainbow Road. Because I'll keep watching the video, but we'll check in on this poll again. So go on. GCN Rainbow Road. A very simple question. GCN Rainbow Road, W or L? Let me know. I'll keep watching.
Final and so epic all at the same time. It's probably got one of the absolutely best video game songs ever. Perfect.
You're right on that front. The soundtrack is amazing.
Representing these feelings, and it flows so perfectly with the track itself, being one of the most difficult Rainbow Roads out there. This is already perfect.
It's
enough.
Rainbow Road.
Honestly,
It's
makes
where
it
you
even better
go
is the fact that you're racing
when
above
you
a city
die.
rather
It's
than being in
Rainbow
space.
Road.
It really strengthens the feeling that you're
I'll
on top
miss
of the
you
world. You've climbed
again.
the ladder and finally reached the final level. It feels a bit like
It's
you're watching
Rainbow
Dawn of the
Road.
Adventures
It's
you've been
where
on.
you
It's a
go
truly beautiful
when
track. I
you
was
die.
debating on maybe
It's
putting this track
Rainbow
in first place
Road.
because really there's nothing I can complain about.
Wait, hang on, I just realised. Wait, hang on. No, this ain't first? What were we on? Wait, hang on. What number are you on? What number are you... Hang on, I thought this was first. Wait, what number are we on? What number are we on? Chat, what number are we on? What number is this?
However,
What's the
there's
number?
one track that ended up being slightly better.
Oh, it's the one track. Which one? Oh, wait, hang on. Which one is it? Fuck, don't tell me, chat. Don't tell me. What have we not seen yet? What have we not seen? What have we just... We've done Waluigi Stadium. We've done Daisy Cruiser. Wario Coliseum? You're number 1? No way.
You guessed it.
This?
My favorite course in Mario Kart Double Dash is Wario Coliseum. Ever since I first stepped foot on this track, I knew it was something else.
I'm actually very, very curious to hear what Albert says about this, because I'm guessing just like with me, I played this game when I was a kid, and Albert said she did as well. But when I went back to play this game to review it, I realized this track just has a whole load of, like, to it. And as fun as it is to play a really long and winding track with 2 laps, when you play it, just kind of like what's it? I think Me accused Dana Jungle of being mid when there's the stomping dinosaur, 3 bridge layout, shortcut or geysers, avoiding the big nose of the dinosaur, U-turn, geysers again. You're constantly doing interesting things. Like, you jump for a couple of rings, you go through like a spiral, and that's just kind of it, really. Like, I was disappointed. Like, I think I ranked this in C on my Double Dash one, because I was just like, there's just nothing much to this. It's not offensive, so that's why I didn't get a D or an F, but definitely not a B or higher. Definitely not the top 1. Jeez. So I'm curious to see what she says.
The other tracks. It's an interesting trend how Wario and Waluigi always get some of the coolest and wackiest tracks out there, and it totally fits in with their chaotic nature, and Wario's Coliseum is a perfect representation of these types of tracks. take what I said about Waluigi Stadium, except pretty much everything is better. Now yeah, on one hand, Waluigi Stadium's gritty aesthetic had a bit more personality as opposed to Wario Coliseum.
I feel like Waluigi Stadium doesn't overstay its welcome though. And like in Waluigi Stadium, you're jumping through rings of hot fire, which at that point is a very unique concept. This is just kind of rehashing it, so it already gets marked a few points down for that. So because it's just reusing the same thing that Stadium did, and then it doesn't do anything else to kind of like raise the stakes. At least in Waluigi Stadium, you had the chomping piranha plants, like and the fact that they made a cardboard kind of added to like the dirt bike racetrack aesthetic that the stage was going for. What does Colosseum have?
It's more clean cage-like aesthetic. In fact, the Colosseum aspect of the track is barely even relevant at all. It's just kind of in the background. However,
Yeah, and I think that's probably a testament to like how lacking they used the theme, because it's supposed to be a Colosseum, right? Like what do you think of Colosseum? It's like battle, gladiatorial combat, and yet does the stage give you that vibe? I don't know. I don't think so, if you ask me.
Prefer the aesthetic in this.
Also, Sammy Sailor with the $3. Thank you ever so much. $1 for Bridge better than City, an extra 2 for Colosseum #1. Should be giving that to Boris then. I don't know. This is not my tier list if you're confused, but I appreciate the 3. Thank you very much.
It feels like you're inside of some crazy obstacle course, meant to act as a bit of a final challenge, with thousands of spectators watching you pull off some of the wildest jumps ever. And this concept is utilized to its full potential. It's the
Full potential? I don't know. I don't. You get like give me some examples. I'm really open for some examples here.
largest course in the series, and it does all sorts of crazy twists and jumps. Literally, sudden drops, gap jumps, loops, more gap jumps, you name it. In fact, it's
Yeah, gap jumps and for a special cup track, I'm hoping for a bit more than just gap jumps and loops though. If this was like a Star Cup track, maybe I'd offer a bit more leniency. But yeah, I think someone said, like, who is it? Who just said it there? Like, Nash the Second. You said it right there. Like, this track gets repetitive after a bit, doesn't it? It gets, like, that's the issue. It just gets repetitive. Like, and then you got the, like, fireball jumps, which, again, has already been done in Stadium, which there's nothing wrong with reusing concepts, but you're not going to get points for it if you reuse them, you know? It's like if Daisy Cruiser had, like, the Cataquacks, I'd be like, oh, it's the Cataquacks. I'm not also going to, like, give that a big boost in points because of unless they use them cleverly, because we've already seen them in Peach Beach, right? So I think that's kind of how I tend to think about these things.
even so long that it was the first and so far only Mario Kart course to have 2 laps. It really just brings home the feeling this is a track unlike anything else.
I mean, again, it's 2 laps, sure, but I feel like it's only 2 laps because the designers just made it way too long and forgot to cut it back. At least that's the feeling I get. It's not 2 laps because it's a massive gauntlet full of challenge that you can only brave the elements twice on. I feel like it's just 2 laps because the designer was just busy drawing loops and then was just like, oh shit, hang on, we gotta close the loop back up, quick, close the loop back up. And then I just did that and that's just kind of it.
It's the start of a final challenge, and it will not hesitate to get everything at you, and that is why it's my personal favorite Mario Kart Double Dash course. And overall, that was my ranking of all of Mario Kart Double Dash's 16 courses. But
Gee, what? Hang on. Let me just. Can I very quickly? I'm trying to speed run this. Let me get my rankings up. Let me just because I'll refresh my memory. I want to see exactly where my placements were. Let's have a look. So let's go to my video, Mario Kart Double Dash. I did this video 10 months ago. Sheesh. Goddamn, Musty. Final tier list. Okay, so this was mine versus Albert Boris's. So okay, here's a whoops. Let's move this one over here. That's my background music. So there we go. For me, it was I put Rainbow Road down the very bottom. I still kind of agree. There's just nothing going on in this Rainbow Road. I just don't see it. You've got it in the S tier. we couldn't disagree more. It's literally I am the anti Albert, or are you the anti Musty? Like what's the who's the anti who here? Who's the anti who? And that's not even my most controversial. I imagine it's not your most controversial, Jesus, but you've certainly started us off on a controversial note. So I've got what? Should I get, then what's it? My dry desert is down here. For you, it's like up here in B. Jesus Christ. Bridge I had in C. It's okay. You had it. Where did you have it in B? Whoops. We don't need a new tab right now. Daisy Cruiser C. You had it in S. Lord have mercy. Yeah. Did I put Stadium? I thought they put this in like top high C. I guess I put it in low B. I was feeling generous. You put it as the best track in the game. Lord have mercy on my soul. See, I thought. Well, I did what. But our baby park rankings could not be any more different than look at that. D tier, bottom of D tier, a Nintendo Masterclass. It could not be any more different. Either you're the anti-Musty or I'm the anti-Albert. Someone's the anti-someone, and we gotta figure this out at some point. So Albert, I do this thing. I don't know how familiar you are with my content, but usually I like to do something called a gamer alert. I usually like to pull people in. If I've reacted to a tier list of someone's and I find their tier list highly disagreeable, I usually like to pull them in a Discord call. And we just like to have a friendly chat. It could be friendly, it could be slanderous, it could be whatever energy you want to bring. You can do it. If you want to jump in on a Discord call, by all means. If not, then I'm fine with that too. Sometimes people just aren't particularly good at articulating themselves, like in a live experience. I can get that. Some people aren't really geared for that sort of thing. It makes sense. I think if you put me in front of a script, I hate it personally. So I tend to just like things off the cuff. So I'm like the reverse. That would be epic. All right. Okay, let's do it, guys. We're gonna do a gamer alert of Albert Boris. Let's have a listen. Let's have a look. Let me generate a link for you in the chat. There you are. There you are. So hang on, let's see a couple more. Did I put? Oh, this is your one. My bad. I was about to say. See, I put DK Mountain slightly over Dino Jungle. I thought they were both A as well, but you thought they were both A too. It's just Dino's higher than DK. I'm curious about that. Very curious about it. Sound the sirens. If you're in the server, I think I can just pull you in. So just join the server there. All right, let's get some background music while we wait. Guys, we're gonna have a chat. We're gonna have a chat with Albert. Ooh, yes. I definitely want to see where the takes are. What else was there? What else did I highly disagree with? I mean, Luigi. I think I put Luigi. Yeah, I put Luigi Circuit in B because I just thought it was very, very good for a beginner track. It's a shame that Albert doesn't agree. What else was there? Bowser Castle. Do we disagree on Bowser Castle? Put it in B. I put it in A. Waluigi Stadium. I think Waluigi Stadium we literally got dead on. I think you put it in mid A. I put it in low A. Same difference as far as I'm concerned. Rainbow Road. I definitely want to ask about Baby Park and Rainbow Road. Those are the two I want to ask in particular. Because I think those are the two we couldn't disagree more on. And then City and then Bridge Over City. I want to write these down so I don't forget. Alright, so I don't know how much longer you were planning on streaming, but I might be around soon. Okay, if you're around, I'm probably gonna be around for like another half an hour, and then I'm gonna half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna head out. We're gonna get Albert in here real quick, so we'll see. Yeah, so Albert, if I give you join the server, we could just jump into a call from there. Or I could just vibe to Mario Kart Wii's menu music. That works too, as far as I'm concerned. Alright, guys, hold the sirens. We'll save the sirens. Give it a second. See you later. Well, I'll keep the VOD up on YouTube for a bit. Don't worry. We'll keep it up for a second. Don't worry. I always thought this was the best main menu music. Well, if we're doing like a main menu music tier list, I think Mario Kart Wii has to be the best one, right? Has to be the best one. 100%, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. Oh no, give me again. No, where's it gone? No, I want to hear it again. Give me again. One more time. Yes. Mario Kart 7 solo. 7 feels like a boneless Wii's one, if you asked me. I feel like Wii's one is just... I feel like, was the Wii one the first time where they like scaled it depending on where in the menu you were? I thought that was a very, very cool thing, you know? Like, the music gets more and more expanded as you... Like, this bit is the... Oh, are you playing, like, how many players are? Is it 3 players? Like, is it a solo one? Is it like, what are you doing? And then when you get into the character select screen... I used to sit in this screen all the time just to hear this version, you know? Just so good, isn't it? And then when the whole band kicks in, it's amazing, isn't it? So where's Albert? Albert, my homie. Like, I think I'll post the link in the Discord to the Discord again. I don't know about Diddy Kong specific. Hang on, what about Diddy Kong? Hang on. Whenever I hear this music, my brain just pictures Diddy Kong chilling on the default bike. Me, it's just Luigi. It's just Luigi, Mark bike, Luigi, you know? That's all I had to be. On second thought, it's a bit late for me, so I'll skip. Okay, no problem, no problem. But maybe some other time, but that was Albert Boris's video, guys. If you hey, you guys know what to, you guys know the drill. You guys know the drill. We might disagree. I might have heavily disagreed with Boris's takes, but I think it makes for a more fun reaction whenever someone gives me a list I disagree with. If there is something, I think, hopefully when I talk to Albert, I can get, because I think there was some takes where like I would have preferred if you expanded a bit more on what exactly it was. I think your Wario Colosseum one was fine, but I don't remember which one it was. Remember there was one of them when like I was hoping you'd elaborate a bit more, but unfortunately you didn't. I think that's what a conversation would fix, but some other time for sure. Oh, Daisy Circuit. Did I say that? Oh, I said it correct that time. I said Daisy Circuit. I almost corrected myself, even though I said it correctly at the time. I almost did it. That time. It was Baby Park. That's what it was. Yeah, I would have liked it if she elaborated on. Yeah, Baby Park was definitely the main one because, like you said, the concept got boring after a while. I thought I'd like to expand on that because even though I've played Baby Park dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of times, but I still think it's just as good as the first time. You know, I think it's just as crazy. Also, this main menu music was good. It was chosen for vehicle border music on a Mario Kart ride. Was it now? Ooh, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Also, let's elaborate on this, shall we? Because you guys, I said Rainbow Road. Hang on, let's get into this. Let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about this, guys. GCN Rainbow Road, W or L. It seems like more people. It seems like I'm on the wrong side of history once more. True. It seems like I'm on the wrong side of history again. I'm used to this. See you later, Musty. I have a good one, bro. We'll have a good one, man. But I just think it's boring. Like, it looks nice, it sounds nice, but to play on? Third best Rainbow Road. Should we do one real quick? Hang on. Real quick, on the fly. I'll do this real quick, and if Biff is still not here, then we'll pull him in some other time. But can we just do a Mario Kart tier list? Mario Kart all tracks. We'll just do an all track. I'll find an all tracks one. And then we'll just get the... Alright, so let's... add a row below. So where is it? So we've got this Rainbow Road. I'm just going to do the nitros. I'm not going to do like the retros. Or should I do the retros as well? Let's do both actually. Well, why shouldn't we do both? I'm Bruno. Alright, okay, well, so after we've done this, then Biff should be with us. That's Rainbow Road. And then we've got this Rainbow Road. And then we've got DS has a... Oh no, so that's GameCube's Rainbow Road. Yes, let's not forget about GameCube's one. We were just talking about GameCube's one. Then we got this Rainbow Road. And then, so which one was that? That was DS. After DS comes Wii. And then, after Wii comes 7. And then after this, it's... Hang on, let me zoom out. So it'll be easier to drag. It'll be harder to see, but it'll be easier to drag. So where's Oh, fuck, I need my glasses for this. Rainbow Road, there we go. So that's 7, that's 8. What about... Does it have it as a retro? Can I do it as a retro? I don't think this one has retros as well. So I think we're just going to do nitros. Remixes, I never played the remixes. So if you guys are hoping I do the remixes, I've never played them. I'll put them here, but I'm going to put them in the never played to. Add a row below. Never played. Watch them? Nah, I'd rather play them. If I'm going to play it, I'm going to play them. You know, I'm going to play them first. Alright, so... Very quickly, off the top of my head, I've not done too much thinking. So let's do top 1. So this is the top 1. And then this is 2 and 3. My bad, hang on. 2, where's the ampersand? There we go. 2 and 3. This is 4 and 5. And this is... top 10. There we go. All right. So 6 to 10. All right. So OG Rainbow Road. As a nitro, I love this as a remake. I'm guessing these are all nitros. This is nitros. Okay, these are nitros. As a nitro, I don't like this one. This one sucks. All right. Fuck it. It sucks. This Rainbow Road as a Nitro, this one sucks as well. They both suck. This Rainbow Road, I want to say top 3. This Rainbow Road, this one sucks as well. This one is just kind of like there. This one is like maybe up there. This one is there as well. And then this one is like here. Is that about right? So is it 6, 7, and 8? So it's 6. Hang on. So Wii 7, GBA 8, DS, SNES, N64. Hang on. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'll do that. Okay. I think I'm right with that. I think this is fine. Yeah. Okay. N64 Rainbow Road's the worst. Then SNES, OG, like in the Super Mario Kart. GameCube one is 6th. This one is hang on. Is this one 5th or is this one 5th? That's my main argument. I think the rest of my placements are fine. Which one is 5th? You know, I'll do DS one is 5th. And then this one is 4th. This one is 3rd. This one's 2nd. This is fair. I think this is fair. I think this is fair. Wii one is the best one. I don't need to talk. These two are like basically fighting for top spot. So as far as I'm concerned, those two are the GOATs. This one is... I like this one, okay? Call me a nostalgia pill though, I fucking want, okay? I love this one. 4, what's it, 8's Rainbow Road? I think this one gets a lot of shtick. I think this one gets a lot of stick, but it's actually a solid... I don't think it's the best Rainbow Road, but it's a very, very solid track. I think as a track, even though its aesthetic is not that good, I would say I would much rather race on this one than DS or GameCube. I would much rather race on. As a Rainbow Road, when talking aesthetics, music, these two are way better. These two are better, I would say. But to race on, this one's got corkscrews that do nothing, and this one's just a whole pile of nothing. Why would I race on them? This one's at least got stuff going on, you know? Not a lot of stuff, mind you, but stuff, you know? And then these two are just, you know, they are what they are. They are what they are. I think that's fair. I think that's fair, right? Wii U R is terrible track-wise and... Nah, I think it's terrible. I think it's not that great RR-wise. But as a racetrack, it's good. It's not phenomenal, but it's good. Where do you post them? You can put them in gaming tier lists. If you guys want to put your one in the gaming tier lists, I'll take a look at them real quick. I think this one's fine. Do you know what we're gonna do? Do you know what? Actually, do you know what I'm gonna do? Listen, Luke, but you've just been in the chat spamming L at me all day, motherfucker. Post your tier list in the Discord. I'm timing you out until you do yours. So this is Alfonso's one. Right? Alfonso's Rainbow Road tier list. So this one is the top one. Top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not. Yeah, I think that's about fair. I think that's about fair. That's not. Yeah, that's fair. Saul. Okay. 7s, Wii's, SNES. Remember, these are Nitros only. GameCube, GBA, DS at the bottom, and 8's one is down there. Wii U's. Sheesh. That's harsh, guys. I think you guys are hating on. I think you know, guys. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, guys. I'm gonna say it. You guys are gonna like me when I say this. 8's Rainbow Road is underrated. I think 8's Rainbow Road is underrated. I think it is. Is it the best? No. But I think it deserves 4th. 100%. It is 100% as a Nitro, 100% better than DS, GameCube, SNES, and N64. 100%. 100%. Even though its aesthetics are middling, as a racetrack, I would much rather play on those. Much rather. Much rather. Alright, Wii, 3DS, Double Dash, DS, Game Boy Advance, Wii U, SNES, N64. So SNES and N64 are taking the bottom spots as we all agree. 6 though. 8's one is an underrated gem. 8's one's an underrated gem. I'm telling you guys, it's an underrated gem. It's an underrated gem. I'm telling you. I tell you what, it's an underrated gem. If anyone else wants to post it, let me just delete these. Let's clean this one up a bit. It's an underrated gem. I'll tell you that for free. For free and forever. What's Rem got for us? So that's Wii, 7, GameCube, GBA, I'm guessing that. So we use DS, SNES, as it was. So N64 is obviously the worst. DS is there. Wii U's there. You know what? GameCube is just a bit too high. Bit too high. Chara's Toys. Chara's. I like that name. We've got, what's it? Is that GameCube? Is that GameCube taking up the top spot? Sheesh. 7 DS. I think that's 7 BCP. Wii is like the 5th best. Whoa. And then you've got 8 Deluxe N64. 8 Rainbow Road. 8 Deluxe SNES. GBA. And then... Wait, 7's Rainbow Road version of SNES is worse. Is worse than N64. Is that what you're telling me? There's no way I don't even think you believe that. I don't even think you believe that. Like, the N64 OG is the worst one. It's the worst one by far. It's gotta be. I don't believe you. I just think you're lying to me. In the same way your name lies to me. There's no such thing as a Charizard fusion. You can't fuse Charizard and Blastoise. There's a water type and a fire type. You just can't do that. Not in this economy. Rushed but true. Good except shit 8. Good, all except 8. Shit as fuck 8. That's just slander. That is just slanderous. Who else is there? Spook Duck. Wii, GameCube, GBA, 8 Deluxe's version of 7. OG, hang on. 8 Deluxe's version of 7 is below OG 7. If you ask me, I think the OG gets it slightly better because of the moon. Like, the moon makes the... Like, I would just swap those two. I think the 8 Deluxe version of the 7 is fine, but I think the original just slightly... It made the moon. The moon. Like, the moon, guys. The moon. 8 Deluxe's version of SNES. 7's version of SNES. 8 Deluxe's version of N64 is 8th. Yikes. And then there's the 8's one. DS, SNES. SNES again. And then SNES is twice. It's so low, it's twice. 8 Deluxe version of 7 is D tier. No, it's here, isn't it? This is the 8 Deluxe version. At least the OG N64 is the worst. At least I'll say that much. Right, okay, here we go. Oh, this person's got Super Nintendo's one as the lowest instead. 7 over Wii. DS. Oof. A DS truther. A Wii hater. I can't believe this. I actually can't believe this. I can't believe this. I tell you what. I tell you what, chat. I can't believe this. Jacob. 7 then Wii, as expected. But DS, Game Boy Advance, GameCube. Again, another 8 hater. When are you guys going to get woke on? You guys need to get woke on 8. There's no way 8 is worse than GameCube and DS. There's just no way. There's no, yeah, DS, like, it is me. At least for once, me agree. You know? Man, start with the sky. It's like, yeah, I can't even believe this, lad. Lass, I can't even believe this. Oh, I tell you what. I can't even believe this. Shay, is that how you say your name? Wii, and then 7's, obviously. The top 2. I would swap it either way. I'm not fast. But DS is 3rd. At least Wii U's in the top 4. SNES, GameCube. My childhood in 7th. I'm fuming. I'm in shambles, lad. I'm in absolute fucking shambles. What are we queuing up next? Let's do. What track have we got next? Oh hell yeah, let's do this. Oh yes. Can we do? Let's do Snowboard Cross. Let's do Snowboard Cross, shall we? I will never play GBA or GCN. List invalidated. You gotta play GBA. Wii 7, GameCube, GBA. I'm telling you, I don't believe you guys. I don't believe you guys. I don't even believe you guys. You guys are just lying. You guys are lying to me. Thank you, Jacob with the 5. DS has the loop. GCN has the drop. It was massively disappointing after we got 7. Listen. I get that. I understand why people rated 8 low after the high that we got that was 7. 100%. But like, it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years. I think it's fair enough for us to like take a step back and go, do you know what? Maybe this one isn't that bad. And I can understand if even if you take a step back, you're just like, I still fucking hate it. That's fair. That's based. You know, like your take is your take. But I think saying it's disappointing after 7, I think it's been 10 years. You know, it's been 10 years. I think we gotta let that go. But thank you so much for the 5. Your generosity is completely lovely. I would say that. Couldn't think of something to finish it. But thank you so much. So we got Spicumbo, Wii 3DS, 3DS Remake, N64 Remake, Double Dash, SNES 8DX, SNES 7, DS, GBA, Wii U again, SNES, GBA, SNES. At least N64 is the lowest. At least N64 is the lowest. No. I can't believe it. I can't believe my Rainbow Road is 6th best. I can't believe my childhood. You've ruined my childhood. I tell you what, you've ruined my childhood. You've ruined it. Hang on, champ. What is this? Why Wii U RR is an underrated masterpiece, and it's just the musty Mr. Beast emote. Guys, this is my argument. This is my thesis, and I hope you guys all understand. You guys all understand, right? Right? You guys all agree? You have to, right? You have to. This is my... Well, what else do I need? There's no other argument I need, really. Among Us... Okay. Amogus. Alright, Biff, where's Biff? Where's the Biff man? Is the Biff man with us? Also, Cherry just boosted our server. How very nice. Oh, where's the Drake? I need the Drake gif whenever someone boosts my server. There we go. Every time someone boosts my server, they get the I just randomly pick a Drake clapping gif. Are you in the server? Alright, cool, based. Alright. So gamers. Let's pause the music. We know what time it is. We know what time it is. Hang on. We know what time it is, gamers. We know what time it is. Oh, sirens in the chat, gamers. Biff Weed for the insurmountable crime of having a different opinion than me. I am issuing a once-in-a-lifetime, amazing, with fudge-coated icicles on top. I am issuing a Gamer Alert! Mr. Weed, please report to the tier list court to have your opinion dissected. But before I do that, hang on, actually. Let me... I want to get... Where's this video? Have I still got his video up? Oh, fuck, I need to get his video back up. I want to see... I just want to refresh my... Because, well, I'm in Albert Boris mode still. So I need to get back to Biff Weed mode now. I need to get back to Biff Weed mode. So let's go to Biff Weed. Let's find his Mario Kart Wii rankings. And let's just quickly refresh our memory with what it was. I think it was the Grumble one was the most egregious, wasn't it? It was Toad Factory. Then immediately after, he blindsided us with the Grumble. And then on top of that, Ghost Valley maybe higher than it probably should be. Maybe, if I do say so myself. Sherbetland as well. Hang on, I'm gonna take some notes. I don't remember. So it's Sherbetland. That's gotta be one of them. Grumble. We need the Grumble take. I think Moonview. I think he said his take on Moonview, but I'll just we'll refresh our minds again. And then what else was there? Was there something that was disagreeable? Mushroom Gorge is fine. Bowser Castle's fine. I think he rightfully put Desert Hills right where it belongs. Dry Desert in C. They're the best one. I remember the chat was molding about that, so I'll do... Oh, sorry, Dry Ruins, my bad. So, okay, here we go. So, gamers, now that we've got our notes, ready, gamers, Biff Weed, please report to the Gamer Lounge right after I post another drink. One more. One more. There we go. Get Biff Weed. Please report to the tier list court to have your opinion dissected. Right, let's go. Let's get into the courtroom. Is that Mr. Biff Weed himself? Hello.
It is indeed. Hello.
How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. I had a lot of fun watching you watch my video. It was very nice.
I'm glad you had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So what I just want to ask. So like obviously this is not the kind of content you do regularly. But you decided to just do a Mario Kart Wii one. What was like what was the impetus behind doing it? Let's just get some background.
honestly, like, I've kind of become known as the guy who makes the death battle content, and like that was never my intention to solely do that. It just kind of became the thing I talked about most, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to branch out. And an idea I've had for years that I kept scrapping and bringing back was talking about Mario Kart Wii.
Got
And
it.
so I thought, and I finally decided to bring the idea back. I wrote the script for it, I think, in like August of last year. And then I'm like, okay, I can just get on this whenever. And then December rolls around and Schaefer beats me to it. So that was that was lovely.
Well, were you like trying to beat him to it? Was that like a thing you were trying to do?
No, I completely blindsided me. It's a very like surreal thing to like have a video planned out and then to have a content creator you watch beat you to it.
That must have been frustrating, but that only galvanized you more to make the video
Yeah.
finally.
That
Once
was great. I think we had a lot of similarities in our rankings anyway, so it was cool to see his takes.
So obviously, you know, since you made it second, obviously people were just like you stole his opinions.
Obviously.
El Biffweed, it was all of that, obviously. So you had to beat the allegations, but I'm glad you made it out of the courtroom. I'm glad you beat the allegations. I'm glad you're here with us today because
I
there's
beat him to DS and 7, so
I'm glad you did. We've got a couple. There's a couple of them though. There's a couple of them, Biff, that were highly disagreeable. This one's the chat's
Yeah,
one, so we'll get into the one that the chat was screaming at first before we get into my ones. Dry Ruins is one that despite what most people, myself included, would say is probably one of the better top 2, maybe alongside Bone Dry Dunes for me personally, of the better desert courses. You know, desert themes, boring if I do say so. But see, a lot of people were saying I was really harsh. What do you think?
like I said, I think it's a good track. I like it. It's just not one I feel strongly about at all. So that's generally what goes in like the higher end of C tier for me. Like I think people put more stock in the tier that it goes in rather than what I say about the content of it. And like what I have to say about the content of it was good. It's literally just like considering I like it in spite of the fact that it's a desert track. I think that's a testament to how creative it can get in its layout and such.
Yeah.
Even if I don't like looking at it or listening to the music.
Oh, you don't like the music neither? Of JoJo
It's
Desert?
not bad. It's not bad. It's just it's not one of my favorites.
It's a catchy little bop, I'll tell you, Biff. I can't believe that. Oh
It's
no!
not one I go out of my way to. Like considering how many bangers are in the soundtrack, I don't think Dry Ruins.
No,
I'm gonna.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I suppose in a world of bangers, it kind of just sits in the middling bunch. I don't blame you. But it's a solid foot tapper for me, honestly. Maybe I'm just rating it. Maybe I'm just giving it a bit too much props because it's one of the good ones in a generally bad theme.
It gets no props from me when Shy Guy Bazaar exists.
It's true. Do you think 9 will have like our first like S tier like certified banger crazy in Desert Course? Do you believe?
You say that is if they're not just gonna make Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
You're on a deluxe train, are you?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did Deluxe Square.
I don't think anyone would be, to be honest. But we're just kind of praying it doesn't happen, right? We're just kind of praying.
Yeah, I'm down for Mario Kart 9, absolutely.
I think all of us are at this point. Now, obviously, I think this is where the timelines divulge for both of us. At least in its original, I have since recanted my ways and will admit that Moonview Highway in the BCP is an absolute phenomenal version, and I think it's the ideal version of Moonview Highway. But I think this, I don't think we're gonna talk about this one too much because I think you just said it best. Like one of the things I hated most of it was just the oncoming traffic lane is just too congested. But for you, you said it wasn't really much of a bother for you.
It's not much of a bother for me because there's enough room for me to weave about it, and also I can just stay in the other lane and go behind the traffic that's moving forward. So, like, there is, I guess, counterplay to it. There's alternate routes you can take. Like, you can go over some of the traffic by taking that secret hill near the start. And, like, generally, once you get further into the track, the only turn I can see potentially getting on my nerves at any point is like there's one that's like a full 90-degree turn where a car could blindside you, but at that point if you're taking a complete blind turn when you know that there's the risk of oncoming traffic, I feel like any punishment from that might be deserved.
I mean, as some of my community members know, I am a bit of a gambling man, so maybe it's my fault that I just keep gambling and I keep losing. But it's like
the
they say,
gamble is exciting.
That's what I mean. It's just too exciting. 90% of gamblers quit before their big high. So like that's just how I live life as a whole. So.
Like just go for one more, you'll probably get it the next time.
And maybe I just kept doing that too much as a kid. I just kept losing. I owe the house like $70,000 and the rights to my firstborn child because of the amount of times I took that oncoming turn. But I think just having it, I mean, even more so having like a version of it that I think like lowers the congestion, I think just makes this one seem even worse for me, honestly.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, I think that's. I don't think we're going to disagree too much on that one because I think your take was fair on it. But Grumble Volcano, I think you have to do a lot of persuading on Grumble Volcano. This is such a. You even said it's a hit or miss track. A lot of people love it. A lot of people, and you did that. You did that on purpose just to piss me off, right, Biff?
Oh, absolutely.
Right after Toad's Factory, you did it. That was
right after Toad's Factory. I first saw. I'm like. So he's going to react to this guy I haven't heard of at the time of writing this. I don't think you'd even started making Mario Kart.
I don't think so neither. But it was some clairvoyance in the future. That was just unbelievable. I got some whiplash from seeing that. But
I was losing it at the Bowser Bike Flame Runner thing at the start of your reaction.
That was something.
I will say there is actually an instance of that in my Mario Kart 7 ranking. Right when I wrote that up. And then afterwards, I went and watched your tier list for it.
Right.
And you said you made about the exact same comparison that I did with the Calamari Desert and Maple Tree.
I noticed that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I was
like,
yes.
do I keep that in the script?
No,
of
course you do. That's like the best reason to hate it. Yes, that's like the number one take to hate us out. I love that you did that. I remember that one as well. But back on Grumble Volcano.
Grumble.
I think personally, I think the gimmick is actually really interesting. The fact that the stage gets harder as the laps progress.
Yeah.
I think that is an interesting concept. I just think Grumble Volcano was not the right track for it. What do you think?
That's totally fair. I think I can definitely see why it might be bland to some. I just think the lava aesthetic outside of Bowser's Castle for once is really cool. I really like the gimmick of the track crumbling. I love going inside the volcano. And just there's so many branching paths. I like the moving platforms. The other I like how the other volcano will spit fireballs on and you've got enough time to avoid them, but they can still pose a threat if you're not paying attention. I don't know. I think it's just a really exciting track to race on.
Me said Grumble's a great track, and I'm tired of pretending it's not.
I will say, if it's any consolation, other than Warriors Goldmine, Grumble was probably the one I had the hardest time ranking. I think Toad's Factory and Grumble Volcano was the one I went back and forth on most.
What made you what made it hard for you? What would you say? What was it?
Just struggling to lock down a solid opinion on it, I guess, because I feel there are other tracks that have more standout elements but bigger drawbacks for me. So it had me questioning do I put it as the second highest in A, but then just completely ignoring where in the tier list it goes and just comparing it to what's around it. I think slightly edge of it. It's a pretty compact list towards the top of A tier. I think other than the bottom two in A tier, I really could go any way between I think that's a selection of 4 to 6 tracks. I really could go any way between the lot of them. They're all really, really solid in my opinion.
Well, I think in real time you've managed to convince Creeper Chumsworth because he's like, you know what, I'm persuaded. Grumble is high beta at worst.
I think that's where Schaefer Ellis put it. I was happy to see him on the right side of history with the Grumble Volcano.
He was stealing my lingo as well. I can't believe this.
I literally put a clip from you in
I know you did, yeah. I remember that. I think it's just your Wii one I didn't really remember. Or at least I watched it ages ago. I didn't. That's the benefit of having a short-term memory. It's I can't remember that I watched this one.
Me too.
It's perfect. It's great, isn't it? I think it worked well because I'm almost certain I've seen your Wii one. I just forgot it entirely.
Yeah. Me and my friend Sam, we do quote "Where are the cars" at each other.
Where are the
cars?
It's a car there. Oh god.
I just love how you deliver that.
It's just live. Live takes you into a weird spot. Honestly, I love tier listing stuff live. It's always fun for me and fun for everyone else, I imagine. What do you guys think about Grumble? Let's get some takes from the chat. How's a track that falls apart in real time boring? I just think it's not the track. I think the gimmick is fun. Just the aesthetic. It just puts me to bed, and then the music doesn't help neither. If it was any other track concept that makes it so that it gets harder as it progresses, I think I'd like it. But I think Grumble is just maybe I need to be a bit more. Maybe when I re-rank Wii, I'll see in a different lens. Who knows? But for now, I'm just not a fan.
There's just not really anything about Grumble that I actively dislike, I guess, even if it doesn't quite hit the highs of the S tier tracks.
Oh god, imagine if Moonview fell apart. Moving swiftly on. Moving swiftly. I don't want to think about that. I think this is probably going to be the one that like I find the most disagreeable. I'll say the best for last.
Sherbetland?
Yes, Sherbetland.
Well, I'm going to be honest. In a completely unbiased tier list, no, the fuck, it does not belong in high B tier. There's like nothing to it.
Was it just like childhood memory brain of you trying to go into the middle island? Because
that's part of it.
That's totally based if that's the case. Because like those weird childhood memories are what I live for in like seeing other people's rankings. I love that sort of thing. So go on.
I just ice and snow tends to be like an aesthetic I really like a lot. Like winter's one of my favorite seasons, and I just think Sherbetland being a big iceberg, I think it's cool. It might have something to do with Club Penguin iceberg nostalgia. It might have something to do with it.
Oh, were you? Was that like your online social sim of choice when you were younger?
I was that, and Bin Weevils. You remember Bin Weevils?
Oh, I remember Bin Weevils. For me, it was a.
There we go.
I don't know if you remember Habbo Hotel. That was like my main one. I was like
I've heard of that.
You didn't heard of Habbo Hotel, bro? There's I remember I watched one video essay a couple months back about how Habbo Hotel turned teenagers into greedy capitalists. If you want to get like the like TLDR on Habbo Hotel, that video sums up absolutely perfectly.
Is it 3 hours long? It better be 3 hours long.
I don't remember, but I hope it is just for your sake. Because it is, if you want like the TLDR on what I was like then, I don't know if you have fond memories of Club Penguin, but the absolute ruthlessness of the Habbo Hotel community was not to be mistaken. I'm telling you for that for sure. Anyway, but when it came to like, so it's just nostalgia and vibes when it comes to Sherbetland, is it?
Part of that. Like I love the visuals. Like I say, like the cool blue color palette really works for me, and the music. I really like the penguins in the cave. Like, I think the penguins are a fun hazard. Like I think that it's a Banana Cup track, so it's still relatively early in the game. So I'm like more forgiving of the simplicity. I love them jumping over the cracks in the ice. Like there's slight cracks towards some of the corners in the ice, and like trying to hop over those with manual drift can be really fun. I think I forgot to bring that up in the video. And yeah, the cave is just really cool. It's one of those cases of like the music dynamically changes, like in the Koopa Cape Pipe or the city section of Moonview Highway, My Beloved. Sorry, Moonview Highway, Our Beloved.
The 8 Deluxe. He means the 8 Deluxe version specifically.
Yeah.
Just that.
When you posted that video, me and my friend Sam, we were in DMs. We were celebrating that you'd finally come around. I don't know if Sam's in the chat, but shout out to Sam.
Shout out to Sam. Like I just having it be less congested just made it better. Because like I said, I love Risk Reward. Risk Reward, one of my favorite gimmicks for any racing game. But I just kept losing at gambling. That's essentially the as a kid, I just kept losing it. And I kept going by the gambler's philosophy of 90% of gamblers quit before their big high, and it just never worked. It just never worked.
The next one will be it. It'll be the next one. Will be it. And if it isn't, the one after that.
The one after that. Were there any like? Okay, let's reverse the hot seat. Were there any of like my takes that you could like remember off the top of your head? I don't know if you've got them memorized, but
I haven't watched it in a while. I think it's been a couple months.
Let me get my final list up, and then you can take a look. Let's see if you got any hot takes for me. Let's say.
Are you posting in the gaming tier list?
Hang on, I'm gonna share my screen so you can see it. Hang on, let me.
All right, are you pulling it up on stream? Because I have that open in another.
Okay, yeah, I got up on stream. I full screened my tier list. So if you wanna take a look at that, so that was my one back in the day. I want to re-rank this at some point, but for now these are my takes.
All right, let's see here.
Is this music? I think, or is this No,
I think that's tracks.
This is tracks. Yeah, this is tracks.
Yeah. So top tier: Toad's Factory, Waluigi, Rainbow Road, Mushroom George, Koopa Cape, Coconut Malt, Delfino. I think like even my least favorite a bunch there is Delfino, and I think that's a banger. That's great. That's like
I fucking love that.
I go back and forth between like, do I put that in A or B? I see Joy to Region, Maple Summit, Peach Gardens, Grumble. No complaints there. All fantastic.
You said Grumble. Did you? Sorry, you said Grumble. That's actually
DK. Did I say Grumble?
Yeah, you tried to rewrite history in real time. I saw that.
No, that actually wasn't intentional. I'm just stupid.
Oh, okay. That's what he wants you to think, guys. It's like do you know how like the Waluigi pinball sleeper cell agents every time you could take one. He was trying trying to like inject me with a sleeper cell agent in real time. That's what he was trying to do. But good, nice try. You got to try harder than that, Biff. Anyway.
All right. So the Moving Meadows Mario Circuit getting not in mid. I'll take it. I'm one of 3 Mario Circuit and Luigi Circuit Wii fans, so
I was nice to Mario Circuit, not so much to Luigi though. Luigi, you can stay down below.
Oh wait, is this ordered or is this just?
I would say I remember this being ordered.
Because it looks like it's like chronological in the track selection list.
It could be that. Well, and I think Peach Beach is. Oh, hang on, actually,
That's retros.
Oh, yeah, okay. You could be right. I might have not done my ordered within tiers thing back then. Is this one? This is
Mario
old.
Circuit bordering on A. Mario Circuit bordering.
This is old. All right. This is like old summers. Like this is the only tier list where like I didn't play the game beforehand. We just kind of did it on a whim, and I kind of uploaded it on a whim, and then it turns out 70,000 people wanted to see it. So I was just like, okay, I'll do more of this. I'm okay with that. I'll wax lyrical about Mario Kart.
Shy Guy Beach in the same tier as Bowser's Castle.
I love Shy Guy. I just don't. I'm just on the. I get it. I'm on the wrong side. I just love that trait. It's got really cool like hazard, like the cannonballs. Like they're massive and they just big explosions. Like I don't get why no one likes that one.
I think it's okay. I don't hate it. I don't share Schaeferless's irrational hatred for it.
Did he put that at the very? Did he put that at the very bottom? If I'm not
He
mistaken.
put that in last place.
He put that in last. I was fuming at that. I was absolutely fuming at that. That is unreal.
I love that this list is like all the B tiers, like all the simple like early game courses, the sand ones, and all the Mario circuits, and then you have Bowser's Castle.
Yeah, I guess I think I don't know. I'd have to re-rank this because a lot of my takes were just kind of off the cuff in this one. In this one, they were all off the cuff, if I do say so.
Yeah, I love that all 3 of the Mario circuits are in B tier. You become the Drake clapping gif when Mario Circuit gets picked. You love that there are that many of them.
Let's go, baby, let's go. Unironically true.
It's like what they say, it always best comes in 3s.
No, that's true. I mean, when there's 13 circuit tracks, I mean, you gotta love some of them, right? Come on, that's how it goes.
No strong feeling. So we had the same tier placement for Dry Ruins, turns out.
It does. You're right. It does turn out. It does turn out. I think in retrospect, like again, this is like a year and a half old. I think in retrospect, I would probably put Dry Ruins in B though, because I think it just does that extra bit more. I would say.
Ghost Valley. I know that was probably one of my more controversial takes. Was Ghost Valley in B? That's because another childhood memory is like just bashing into the side of the walls and then just like driving forward and watching them all fall.
Oh, that could.
I found that oddly satisfying.
I could see me doing that as a kid as well, like just knocking them all down and trying to race with them all down to see if like we fall off or like making it way harder, like turning Ghost Valley 2 into Ghost Valley 3 just by knocking them all down, making it harder.
It exists. That's about Bowser's Castle. I love that one for the atmosphere, but I totally get why it would feel like empty compared to some other Bowser's Castles. But I think that's what makes it cool. Like it's this big, empty, like haunting atmosphere. I think it's pretty cool.
I think I get that. When I did my N64 rankings, I ranked this relatively high because I think at the time for Bowser Castle to do what it did, I think it was really, really cool. But I think in the modern day, in retrospect, a lot of Bowser Castles tend to be like quite big and bold. Like you got the big Bowser thing. Even in like 8, you have the big Bowser punching. So they tend to have like this big, loud, bombastic sort of thing. They tend not to go for atmospheric vibes. And I think so to have it, especially in stark contrast with each other, I just didn't think it works for me personally.
That's fair. I think it helps it stand out considering it's doing something different from what every other Bowser's Castle is attempting to do.
I respect that. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, totally fair. I think like looking at Mario Kart 64's lineup, I am thinking of doing a video on that one eventually, and like that one might end up being first ranking where I go best to worst because I'm looking at it. The only one I'm confident would get above B tier is Bowser's Castle.
Really, I think Royal Raceway is also another good shout. But yeah,
that one looks pretty good.
I don't blame you. The rest that game was just so. I don't know because I don't know how old you are. Don't age me more than I already age myself. Every time I ask chat about age, I'm always just like, oh, how old are you guys when Double Dash came out? Everyone's like -3. I'm just like, for fuck's sake. But I remember when like the early 2010s. everyone was Mario Kart 64 was the best thing since slice, because this was pre Wii nostalgia. Now Wii nostalgia is obviously the rage, and 7 is starting to like creep in as well with all the zoomers, like with that Mario Kart 7 fever. But back then it was 64. 64 was the best thing ever. It's so good. It's amazing. So having finally played this, I'm just like, this was your GOAT, really? This? It has like 2 good tracks at most. Really amazing on nostalgia.
I actually played 64 in the summer. I met up with some friends and we played we played a round of it. And we got my friend who was setting everything up put us on Wario Stadium.
Oh, what? he did
That was my
on
first
purpose.
ever round of that game, and I hated it.
He did that on purpose. I guarantee.
I actually don't remember. I can ask him.
100% he did that on purpose. The gold mine take, which of course I have to acknowledge that I'm on the wrong side of history, and in retrospect I'd probably rank this a little high. I'm not sure how high I want to go just yet, but like the childhood trauma of constantly going downhill on that beginning bit with the quacker and getting knocked off. It was like the gambling on Moonview Highway. I just didn't know when to quit. I should have used a different cart for that map, but I guess I just never learned my lesson.
Should have just picked a different character. You don't have to be loyal to Baby Luigi. Like, you don't. That's not an obligation.
It's either Baby Luigi or Luigi. Like that's it. It's Luigi Mark Bike, Baby Luigi Quacker. Like that's all it was, man. That's all it was, home. Like, you know how it is, man. You gotta stay loyal to your homie Luigi, man.
Well, there's a better option is to make a me for Luigi and make him a heavyweight, and then you win.
I might have to do. I wish childhood me had that level of ingenuity, but I wasn't that smart apparently because I kept falling off. So evidently I wasn't. But
I think it goes without saying that I don't share the same hatred for 4 of the 5 tracks that you have in the F tier. I don't want I could be singling out.
I mean, it's weird that I think you like Desert Hills that high. It's weird that you put that in B tier. It's weird.
Like, it's so good. Like, what the fuck? What's it doing?
I'm glad you agree with me that Movie Highway's bad. I'm glad you agree with me finally.
Yeah, like, where are the cars?
Shut up. But it's been absolutely lovely to talk to you before.
It's been great.
We got to do this again at some point. I'm sure we
absolutely.
will. I'm sure
Hit me
we
up
will.
whenever you're if you ever end up watching the DS or 7 rankings live on stream, I'd love to.
I definitely want to do the DS. Like the 7 ones, I got fresh in my memory, but the DS one I'll probably do. I'll probably do the DS one for sure. Is there anything else you wanna leave us with before you go? Any other hot take, Mario Kart related hot take before you leave? Oh, hang on. I do want to know one. If you have one, save it for a second.
Right.
What is the stance on Baby Park? W or L?
Baby Park. Remember, I've only played the only Double Dash track I've played in this original version.
He's gish galloping. He's gish galloping, guys. He won't give us a take. He's trying to roundabout us. He won't tell us. I can't believe this.
DS Baby Park is bad.
Okay, we can agree on that. I'm talking like just your standard bog standard. But what about the 8? You played the 8 Deluxe one, right? What about the 8 Deluxe one?
I don't believe I've played the 8 version either. It's been a long time since I played it.
Okay, well, when you finally become Baby Park Pilled, we need to know the take. Everyone has to have a hot take on that. And the fact that you're neutral is you really are the 1%. Because the 1% of people that don't have a hot take on the hottest track. But was there something else you wanted to leave us with?
I think you closed out the video before you played like the last 3 seconds when you streamed it. You might want to go back and watch those last like 3 to 5 seconds in the outro.
Oh, okay.
I'll leave you with that.
Okay, let's watch the last 3 seconds then. All right, have a good one, Biff. I'll see you later.
Cheers, man. See you.
Cheers. Okay, so yeah, we forgot the last couple seconds, so let's do that now to finish this off, shall we? Okay, let's just go back a bit. Let's go.
Tracks in a different Mario Kart game if I play any of those enough. Anyway, I don't really have much else for the outro, so thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Leave your own favourite tracks in the comments. Unless your favourite's Desert Hills, in which case you can keep that to yourself.
True and real! Bruv. The Desert Hillers have been real quiet since before he dropped this video. They've been real quiet. They've all been very, very quiet, whisper quiet even. But they're gamers. It has been fantastic. I'll leave the stream VOD up for a bit, but then I'm gonna chop them down and do the usual so musty goodness. So I'm still on vacation, so don't expect anything regular for the next week, unfortunately. But We'll be back soon, guys. We'll be back soon. I won't keep you guys in the dark too long, okay? Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for all of the super chats, all of the donations. You guys have been far too kind today. And we'll see you for another stream soon-ish. And until the next time, gamers, until the next time, I will see you all later. Very much. Oh, she's waving bye as well. She's excited. She's happy now because we finally get to watch. What movie are you watching? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Is that what we're watching? We're going to watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Johnny Depp version specifically. So you can get that letterboxd review. You'll get that letterboxd review soon. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Smoke weed every day.